Doug Walker. You're watching The Crazy House, Crazy McCormick.
What up, y'all? Welcome to the Crazy House. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's whatever. Jesus Christ. It's the song, I think that's what it is. All right, let's see. Okay, so Vampira Clown is putting this up in the chat, so I might as well read it. And hopefully I say it in a voice that he heard in his head when he wrote this. The man, the myth, the legend, the PIMP and JEO of Crazy Enterprises LLC, which I have yet to buy. The one, the only, your Juggalo homie, my Juggalo homie, Crazy McCormick. I almost did a fucking Mr. Kennedy there. How's it going, everybody? How's everybody's week? It's all in the good, I guess. Oh, goddamn. Not only am I the legend, apparently, I am the one. I have become the last one. I am the Highlander of the original YouTube Juggalo community, and that's, I guess, unmitigated fact. It's backed by science, the whole 9 yards. Anyways, how was everybody's week? Mine actually did pretty okay, I guess I could say. Um, exactly, rotten treats. So, had another week of work and did the damn thing. And I think I hit my high score. Almost $1,400 earned this week with my job. Truth bombs by way of vape pen. This is a pipe bomb. I'm just letting you know. 100% the last true Juggalo YouTuber. You are the John Cena of the YJC. No, if anything, I am the Counter McLeod of the YJC. That's the reference when I say I am the one. I am the fucking Highlander. But nevertheless, you were just what I am just watching Jason X, dude. Okay, so if you if you notice the hair, I decided to do my hair. I'm not wearing my ball cap tonight. I decided to do my hair, and the reason why that is because I ended up finding SLC Punk on Tubi, and I'm like, all right, let's get back into that. I gotta have some sort of a fucking look of some sorts, and then and at the same time I'm wearing the Cleveland Juggalos 216 shirt, so I guess I could say that I am fitting the bill for trying to look as Ohio as I can, even though I am from Michigan. And then ironically, I get the idea of looking like this due to me watching SLC Punk and Punk's Dead SLC Punk 2. So if you haven't checked those out, go ahead and check it out. It's on Tubi. Also on Tubi, I'm sure that a lot of you ninjas already fucking know about about this shit. But what else is on Tubi? Big Money Hustlers, Big Money Rustlers, Death Racers. This is unfortunately not on Tubi, so eventually I gotta undo the shrink wrap on this bitch and fucking watch this. This might actually be a fucking live stream. Now I will say, I will admit, I'm going to admit this. Um, I am 42 years old. I'll be 43 next month, and I have never, until last night, watched SLC Punk. And it was actually a very good movie. I really enjoyed watching that film. And to be totally honest, you have to fucking look at that movie not following the characters, but following how they're fucking exhibiting the punk scene. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I always say is like better late than never. But it's like if somebody, that's the one thing that does kind of annoy me is when you end up getting somebody that talks to you about a fucking movie that they watched, and when you tell them you've never watched it, they're like, what the fuck do you mean you've never watched Empire? It's like I don't even know you, or some shit like that. It's like Matthew Lillard was very good in that fucking movie. Although who I think really was a dark horse in that film? Devon Sawa. The kid who fucking played the live version of, like the alive version of Casper. He was also in the first Final Destination. He was also in fucking Idle Hands and shit. Dude, it would be awesome to see Matthew Lillard come back because it really wasn't set in stone as to whether or not his character fucking died in the first one. And that would be dope to see that because it would really kind of fucking be like, think about it like this. Because the Scream movies are all about horror movies and shit. Now think about Saw, okay? You ended up having Robin of Locksley fucking from Robin Hood Men in Tights be in the first one. He played Dr. Lawrence, right? And then he came back in the seventh one, and it turned out that he was another person who was helping Jigsaw out with his shit, right? So you have Saw 7 coming out. Have Matthew Lillard come back and be like a big person in the fucking series that you totally forgot about. comes back in the seventh one, and turns out that he's been pulling the strings the whole fucking time. You know, like, and then he'll die. You know. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's right. Devin Sawa was also Stan from the Stan music video. That's right. Dude, Swill is totally Juggalo Jigsaw. I can totally fucking see that. All right, so on top of that, like, so I've also it's also been a pretty hectic week on top of my job and everything. So I don't know if I talked about this last week, but my youngest ended up breaking his fucking leg at a event that went down, and he ended up having to go to the hospital. I think it was like Monday or something like that. Something like that ended up happening. He broke his leg at the roller rink. And so that's also been one of those very hectic situations. But I've been dealing with it. And I think it's been a week now. Like 1 week down, 7 more to go, and he's actually doing very well. He did actually fall at one point, and I still kind of beat myself up over this because I wasn't there to catch him. I was like at the side, and when he started to fall, I just froze. Like I didn't know what to fucking do. My brain did not register what to do, but it didn't like re-aggravate the break or anything like that as far as I see. And he's got another appointment tomorrow. So hopefully there's nothing wrong and they won't have to reset his leg. That would just be hell for him. Violent J without paint is Jigsaw. I disagree with that one. But Jigsaw. I want to see the new Predator movie as well. You know, what I'm really looking forward to though is the Running Man remake. Like they did a total fucking reboot. It's closer to the original material rather than it just being a game show. You know, which I believe it's already out. And there's some other things that are coming up and out that are coming out or coming up. So no, I don't think that that's what should happen with Vampira Clown. I think that it should just be nobody can figure out who the fucking killer is, and then it turns out it's Matthew Lillard. Like he's been alive this whole fucking time, you know? Now, interestingly enough, like so last week, right, the show was on the 9th of November. And so we already have like a week and a half in of the knowledge of who's going to be the mayor of New York. But what do I think of Halo coming to the PlayStation? Sweet. Like I'm happy about that because like bro, I mean granted I've already got it for I've already got Halo for the regular Xbox and I have Halo 2 for the regular Xbox. I have Halo 3, Halo 4. So bring all the fucking Halos, you know. I confuse Scream with Scary Movie. Scary Movie's got another one coming out too, from what I hear. But anyways, yeah. So like I was saying, last week's episode was on the 9th. The next day, now we're gonna start talking about some shit. So the very next day ended up being a very important day for Michiganders, and that is not what it's supposed to be. Hold on a second. Let me deactivate this, reactivate it. There was a little. They're all the same movie. So if you don't know what this is what is called the Edmund Fitzgerald. On the 10th at 7 p.m. in 1975, the Edmund Fitzgerald, which was carrying a fuck ton of iron ore, ended up getting caught in a giant storm in like 15 miles away from a bay in Wisconsin that was it was like it was so fucked up, and this was like in Lake Superior. So almost every Michigander my age tends to know this shit. And so the 10th of November was the 50th anniversary of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Later on that year, the singer known as Gordon Lightfoot ended up making a ballad about the Edmund Fitzgerald and the wreck and the whole story behind it. A lot of people really know this fucking song. I guess what I probably should have done was queued this up, so that way you motherfuckers could hear it. You know, because some of you younger cats probably don't know what it is. I actually told my son, my youngest son, about this, and he actually thought it was really fucking fresh. All right, here we go. No, what the hell is wrong with you? I don't give a shit about that. Stupid fucking ads. Fucking ads, how do they work? Oh, allow me to skip, you stupid piece of fuck. All right, hold on. Here we go. Play. Here we go. Now that's a lot of fucking weight, okay? So, yeah. So basically 26,000 tons of iron ore going from, I believe that this was supposed to go from, where was it? I think that it was, I think it said that it was supposed to go from go from Wisconsin all the way to Cleveland, which means that you have to go through Lake Superior and go through, I think you actually have to go through the Sault Ste. Marie, at the Sioux Locks. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure. Let me see if I can Google this. Okay, there we go. What was the intended route of the Edmund Fitzgerald? Is there any pictures? Ah, okay. Yup, I was correct. So allow me to indulge here and okay. Well, that's cool. So there's actually a whole ass picture and everything that shows what the damn thing was supposed to do. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to move it like this. Okay, so this was the intended route for the Edmund Fitzgerald. Starting here in Superior, Wisconsin, it's supposed to go all the way through Lake Superior. And in order to get to Ohio, which I believe it was supposed to go through, Whitefish Bay, and then through here, which I believe is the Sioux Locks, and then enter into Lake Huron. And that would actually allow the iron ore to go into Cleveland. I do think the insurance company owned the rights to the boat, incorrectly handled the aftermath, and they were able to save themselves of paying out the families by controversially hiding evidence. And that might be, I don't know the full details of that. What I do know, though, is that, well, I definitely missed out. I think at some point I'm going to have to go to this area, like maybe sometime in the summer, because like you could see, like right here, just go through the bridge and then like from I think the last time I went to the Upper Peninsula, I was like up in this area in Marquette, and from Grand Rapids to Marquette, it's like a 5-hour drive. So I could probably save myself quite a bit of time just to try to get to Whitefish Point, and maybe I could actually see where the wreck actually is. There are boats in Marquette that actually allow you to see at the bottom, like they'll have glass floor so that you can actually see underneath and you can see some other wrecks and shit like that. And so like I think that if you actually go through, then you'd be able to uh see the entire wreck if Whitefish Point or any other areas have something that's like that. As it sure seemed like the boat set sail while needing essential maintenance, and it ended up playing a part in the wreck. The boat cracked in half. That shouldn't happen. Right. That's the possibility. Although, even the song fucking says Lake Superior never gives up or dead. So apparently, I'm assuming that it goes from this is from Superior, Wisconsin, all through the major parts of Lake Superior, down here, going through Whitefish Bay, and then this area right here is, I believe, this right here is the Sulaks. And then after that, it finds its way going into Lake Huron and then heads south to go to Cleveland, Ohio. Uh, or wherever the fuck it's supposed to fucking dock at like in Ohio, I believe, and then the rest of it gets shipped out to Cleveland. So I don't know, what does the song fucking say? Let's go back to the fucking let's go back to the fucking song. Now, something that I ended up hearing, because somebody ended up talking about this on TikTok, and what they ended up saying was that so the big Fitz ended up getting that into that big storm. There was another ship that was docked at Whitefish Bay. I is that I forgot. I already forgot the name of it. Yeah, there was another ship that was docked at Whitefish Point because it was like 15 miles away from where they were. So 7 p.m. they had asked for contact with the Edmund Fitzgerald, and they asked for an update, and all the captain said is we're holding. That's it. Like he said it calm, sounded like he said that he had the shit covered. But then after that, they didn't hear anything from him. So they ended up asking another ship about similar size of the Big Fits to go into the storm and try to see if they could, do a rescue mission. And even though it was insane for them to do that, they did it. And when they got there, the Fitz was gone. And so, obviously, like what I assume happened was the winds were so heavy that it just created a giant wave that just covered up the entire thing and swallowed it whole. Now, according to later information, when the sea had slowed down, it calmed down a little bit, they went and tried to see if they could find the Edmund Fitzgerald, and they did. But what they ended up saying was like judging by things that they saw, there was no reason for it to have fucking sank. Like none whatsoever. is what they claimed. In all fairness, they say it was one of the worst storms ever up there. And dude, being in West Michigan, we get our winds from Lake Michigan, and even like we also get our lake effect snow from Lake Michigan. And if you've ever seen pictures of the UP during the wintertime, holy fucking shit. Now, this is a story that a lot of people fucking know about when it concerns, like Michiganders love it. Like, there are two fucking songs that if you fucking go to karaoke, like, if you listen to "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey at a karaoke show, everybody's gonna fucking sing it. If you sing and if you go to karaoke and somebody sings "The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald," everybody just listens. Like, as a former KJ, I can definitely tell you this as fact. I seen it. So, all right. So with that being said, let's show. I'm gonna show you a video real quick because I go on TikTok and I'll be honest with you. I thought it was the 11th. The 11th was Veterans Day, right? But on the 10th is when it happened. So with it being the 50th anniversary, could a rogue wave snap a ship in half? I don't know. I could see a ship that needs maintenance breaking apart. And it might have. Who knows? I don't know that entirety of the details. What I do know, though, is like it happened. But maybe that's what it is. It's like, I think what it is like a whole fucking wave just swallowed it, and it might have snapped while it was under pressure. You know, the barometric pressure was probably the thing that fucked it up the most. So let's get some scuba gear. Yeah, dude, I don't know if you want to do that, dude. Lake Superior's water is infinitely cold. Like, it can be, like, it's not like if you go to Lake Michigan, it will not warm. Lake Michigan and like all of the other lakes will not like, they'll warm up over time. Lake Superior does not. I trust the ocean more than I trust Lake Superior. We could check out the pyramids in Lake Michigan too. Nah, dude, like, have you ever seen Alien versus Predator? I know what's up with fucking pyramids that are underground. I don't trust that whatsoever. Xenomorph like a motherfucker. That's the reality. So anyways, yeah, so I go on TikTok the day after the 50th anniversary of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. We can build a submarine. You got a PlayStation controller. See, where they failed on that is the stick drift. Stick drift is what caused that fucking sub to do its thing. But, so yeah, TikTok ends up getting completely fucking flooded. And I mean flooded with videos of like shit about the Edmund Fitzgerald. And I downloaded a couple of them. Just so I can get some content for the show. So here's one of them. And I thought this was actually a funny one. Yeah. This is for the Fitz. He's at Lake Superior. He's flipping off the lake. Because fuck you, Lake Superior. Now he's stomping the shit out of the fucking shore. Like, this dude is angry. He's beating it with a stick. Like, he is angry at that fucking he is angry. I almost said ocean. It might as well be. It's almost that big. Fucking yeah, he is angry with that fucking lake. I feel like, dude, he risked hypothermia, all right, to stomp his feet on the shore of Lake Superior in November. Bro, Settle down. How many in the crew? 29 people were in the crew. So, another thing that I forgot to add is that every year there is a church in Detroit, Michigan that will ring their bell 29 times in memorial of every crew member that died in that shipwreck. Nobody survived. But there was one year where they didn't do it, and that was in 2023 when Gordon Lightfoot, who wrote the song The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, he passed away in 2023. So that year, they rang it 30 times. 29 for the men of the wreck, and 1 for Gordon Lightfoot in memorial of him writing that song. Because if he didn't write that song, I mean, that ended up becoming a number 2 hit in 1976. At some point, it was in the top 200 songs, and it was number 2. So, like, it became nationwide. And there were some people that are still finding out about the story of the Edmund Fitzgerald. One guy that I watch on TikTok, his name is Jace in America. He's a Brit, and he and another guy, Josh, fucking come to America like every few months, and they'll stay in an area for a month just to get a lay of the land and shit. I don't think he's ever come to the Midwest, but they've been talking a lot about the Midwest lately. And he even was surprised not only about how popular the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald is in the Midwest, but also some of the things that he educated himself about the song. And he was like, I never even heard about this until it just started popping up in my FYP. And then he started taking a look at information about Lake Superior, and he's like, you mean to tell me that this lake is so fucking big that it could fit the entire UK in it? That's insane. I'm like, yeah. You don't fuck with Lake Superior, I'm just saying. But anyways, yeah, here's another one. Now this is definitely on some Midwest shit.
Girl, what are you playing right now? This is the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Can we skip
it? So if you didn't catch that, the minute she says, can we skip, it cuts to her with the volume higher, and the girl that was in the back seat is chasing the car, and you can see her in the back window. Here, I'll show you again.
Girl, what are you playing right now? This is the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Okay, so you obviously see her in the back seat.
Can we skip it?
Okay, there she is. Like, you can see, like, if you look close enough, you can actually see her, like, right there. I do think they took a ship out to sea when it needed shit fixed, and it cost them. That's what I believe. He keeps talking about visiting me because he heard about how we drink in Wisconsin. Bro, you guys fucking sweat alcohol. I've been to Wisconsin. I've seen motherfuckers drink. Fucking the last time I fucking went to the Dells, and that was like about 10 years ago, maybe even longer. But aside from that, like, so that was one thing that I wanted to talk about. And I mean, granted, it's local news, blah blah blah, you know. But we got to talk about some Juggalo shit, don't we? I think that's something that we got to fucking bring up. So we're going to go ahead and bring up some shit. First and foremost, we got to talk about this. Clockwork E is going to be opening up for Ice-T Saturday, November 29th, right after Thanksgiving. A special B-hole show at the King of Clubs. Clockwork E is set to perform at 7:30. Doors open at 6. So, you know what would be interesting? If you get a whole bunch of fucking juggalos to show up. Right? Like, think about this. Imagine getting a whole fuck ton of juggalos to show up to watch Clockwork E open up, and then Everybody fucking leaves when it's time for Ice-T to fucking to do his set. I know it's impossible thinking because it's fucking Ice-T, but imagine that. You know? Like that'd be dope as fuck. So yeah, I don't give a fuck. You guys know what time it is right now when it concerns Clockwork E. Clockwork E has been climbing, and they're good guys. You know, like I love those dudes. Fucking those motherfuckers, super happy. The mega super happy friends that they. I know, super famous fun time guys. Like like those two guys are a fucking perfect fucking marriage. I shit you not. You know, and I find Clockwork E entertaining as shit. Like those guys, I still can't get over their performance at the Gathering of the Juggalos. Like that was hot shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm more likely to go see Clockwork E than Ice-T, right? Make sure that you let Clockwork E know that your ticket money is going directly to them. God damn it! So yeah, go check that out at the King of Clubs. Go to clockshop.net. You can buy tickets there. Show your support to the boys. The boys fucking deserve every lick of support that they fucking get. Those boys are dope. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I love Ice-T and shit, but I think if I were to go to that, I would definitely be going for Clockwork E more than I would be for Ice-T. I know that. Yeah, I know that Ice-T is down. He's gathered. I get it. Um, and I think this is like a definite. I feel like that this is definitely like a not a passing the torch thing, but it's a stamp of approval on somebody like Ice-T to fucking give to Clockwork E. You know what I'm saying? Saying. Know what I'm saying? I think that's dope as fuck. Don't get me wrong. Ice-T's a juggalo. I fucking appreciate the love that he gives to to us and the clowns and shit. But Clockwork E though, you know what I'm saying? All right, yeah, and Swill already fucking broke. He already broke the kayfabe on this one. Big ballers. Speaking of fucking, hold on a second. Does this look better? This a little bit. So yeah. So you got the Big Ballers holiday party. I think I was trying to talk about this last week. I was like, I need to know when this is gonna fucking pop up and where it's gonna be. And then this week, this ended up popping up on Instagram. It's all over the place now. So ICP's Big Baller Holiday Party, December 19th at the Rave in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Featuring a ultra rare, one-of-a-kind deadly medley performance from ICP, Ouija Mac, Wacko the Kid, and Shaggy the Airhead. There also will be JCW Lunacy Wrestling. And I'm pretty sure that it's going to come cheap. All right, like it did last year. I think last year it was in Ohio and it was like $45 fucking dollars. Wacko's gonna throw money at the crowd. It's all poop dollars. It's all poop dollars. I'm just saying. Like I saw that video that he posted on social media earlier. He's in his house, fucking making it rain and shit. Fuck no, it wasn't $45. Dude, it was relatively cheap. Like, it was fucking cheap last year. Okay, 100, but that's still pretty fucking cheap in comparison to a lot of some of these other shows that I've fucking been going to lately. Like, dude, it was like almost $200 for Hallowicked this year. It was like what? Almost $300 for fucking, you know what I'm saying? For fucking The Gathering. Like, it's getting harder and harder to fucking save money to go to these shows. I'm shitting you not. And with that being said, it's like, okay, as much as I want to go to this year, I'm gonna have to pass. Granted, Milwaukee is not that far of a fucking drive from me. You gotta, keep in mind, I sit in the car for like 13 hours a day driving and doing my job and shit. And so, like, driving from here to Milwaukee would not be a big feat for me. I could do it. Even in fucking Michigan and Wisconsin snow weather. Driving around Lake Michigan, I would have zero problems doing that. However, due to the fact that I am trying to keep and acquire fundage, I will not be attending the Big Baller Holiday Party. So, there's that. I think I've discussed that already. So, I'm not going to be going to the Big Ballers this year. I'm most likely going to be skipping Juggalo weekend this year. I've got money to save. And then there is the gathering, of course, for next year. Definitely want to go to that. Juggle Ohio is coming up soon. I think that's in March. And then DCG Con, as that's promised. Wacko said, fuck you if you don't tell him happy birthday. Okay. That's fine and dandy with me. So yeah, there is that. Now one thing that I will say is like, okay, look, Jay definitely has his sights set on Wacko the Kid. And I'm looking at this shit and I'm thinking to myself, what's going on with fucking Darby? And granted, Darby's doing his thing, but it seems like Jay is putting a lot of his focus on Wacko. A lot of focus. It's gotta be that weed. You know, it's gotta be that fucking weed that he's selling, you know? It's from what I hear, it's killer fucking dope weed. I know Darby's C17, Swill. So is Ouija Mac, though. And Wacko, he's not on psychopathic. He's on his own shit. But it's just like ICP is putting a lot of fucking stamps on Wacko the Kid. And Ouija is kind of like... It just feels like Ouija and ICP are kind of just be like... Darby has kind of sort of become like the kid in the back seat. Unfortunately. Which sucks because I really like Darby. Don't get me wrong. I think Wacko's cool. But I'm just like, where's the love for fucking Darby? I'm not seeing a whole lot of Darby love coming from Psychopathic. You know what I'm saying? I want to see more fucking love for Darby O'Trill. All right, so one last piece of information that I felt was worth talking about on my show concerning Juggalo shit is I came across this. So there is a interview with Shaggy 2 Dope on fucking what is it? Artist Friendly, I think is the channel name. This is a screenshot from Veeps, but Shaggy did an hour-long interview with the dude from one of the dudes from Artist Friendly, and I think you can actually see that on the what is it? Joel Madden. So at artist.friendly, you can go there and you can see the full hour-long interview. It's called Shaggy 2 Dope on ICP's Legacy, Hate, and Staying Independent. This apparently was done 3 weeks ago, which I was not aware of. But I think that it's cool. Shaggy you don't normally see getting a whole lot of... Joel Madden is one of the dudes from Artist Friendly is kind of wild. Yeah, because, like, dude, you got to keep in mind, I'm not, like, watching everything on YouTube all the fucking time. So I don't know a lot of shit. But I did come across a clip. It popped up on my fucking... It came across my TikTok FYP. So we got to go back to this one. So we've got a minute-long clip.
They still didn't know how to market us. So it took us stepping in. We never stopped working ourselves, you know.
So, okay, so he's basically, at this point, he's talking about, I think when they were on Island, They just didn't know how, like, they didn't know how to market Insane Clown Posse.
I'm saying we never left it to any record label to work us because they didn't know how to. Like
I don't know if
and we
anyone
were still
would.
struggling at that time because they didn't know. Once again, how do you label this? Where do you put it? Because it wasn't cut and dry rap. It wasn't rock at that. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like,
Dude, that
what do we
fit
do
though.
with this? You know what I'm saying? In the meanwhile, this Juggalo world's building, and we weren't intentionally doing that. We didn't know. We didn't come up with the word Juggalo. No,
No, like I'm not 100% on that because like if you listen to the autobiography, if you read the fucking if you read the autobiography, it like the way Jay writes it, it makes it come off as if he said it in the middle of them rapping the juggler and he said it to them and it kind of just stuck. But then now the narrative is shifted over to we didn't fucking come up with the word juggalo. Yeah, exactly, Trailer Park. Free Darby. He ain't locked up or nothing, but he should be booked for big ballers. That's what I said the minute I saw the flyer. I'm like, why isn't Darby fucking booked for this? This is bullshit. Like, dude, they've been fucking Darby. Hold on a second. We'll get back to this clip. They've seriously been fucking Darby since since the gathering this year that I've been seeing. Like, seriously, how do you put Darby not on main stage this year? Like, that upset me. And then they've got their own fucking tours. They don't put Darby on shit. Darby ends up doing his own fucking tour, which is cool, you know. Like he ended up doing that shit with Acetone and fucking and Frankie. But bro, fucking where's the love for where's the fucking love for Darby O'Trill? Wacko brings home the bacon. I don't give a fuck. I love Darby O'Trill. Darby's the homie. Darby is too humble to address it, but it's facts. C17 should be putting him in these positions. And I agree. 100%. It's like instead, it's like, I mean, yeah, Darby's not complaining about it publicly. And no disrespect to Wacko. But fucking Darby. Like, dude, like, you're like Darby came on, and I love Darby's shit. Like I love his fucking style. I love the way that he does his shit, the way that he markets his fucking shit, his merch and shit. Like the fact that every single song has to have like an extenuatingly long title name. People making it a Wacko versus Darby debate are weird. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to take food off of Wacko's plate and give it to Darby. But what I am saying is what I am saying though is that while Wacko is getting a big fucking plate, Darby is not able to fucking get himself as big a fucking plate. To me, it feels like Darby came in and he got a little bit of a push, but then once Wacko came in, Jay just fucking put his sights solely on fucking Wacko and is like putting Wacko up more than Darby is. So it's like a one-track mind kind of a situation. It feels like it's just a one-track mind thing for Jay and Ouija to fucking push Wacko out faster than Darby. And it's like, okay, well, what about Darby? Where's Darby going with this? Like what are you gonna do? Like what is Chapter 17 doing with Darby in the middle of all of this? While Wacko and Ouija are able to go on major shows and tours with Insane Clown Posse, Darby is out on his own. So to me, it just feels like Darby is becoming the forgotten redheaded stepchild. Darby deserves better and should not be treated like a C17 version of GMO. Well, I have yet to see fucking Darby O'Trill drop kick somebody while he was on stage. So, and I'm not saying it's coming, because I doubt that it is. But still, it's like, dude, give Darby some motherfucking love. How in the fuck are you going to be like, yeah, Darby, even though you're on a psychopathic affiliated or adjacent channel, or fucking record label, we're going to put you on the bottom rung at the Gathering of the Juggalos. Oh, that's cool. Nah, fuck that, dude. Fight. 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 Darby is good. Darby is really good as far as I'm concerned. Wacko, I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got on this album, And I talked to him and I was like, dude, what's your like I fucking dig what Wacko's doing. Don't get me wrong. I got my respects for Wacko. But I feel like Darby is becoming more forgotten. What up, Sister Hatchet? All right, let's get back to this fucking interview clip. All right.
I know that. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you. We can speculate where it came from, but we never said the word juggalo before juggalos were calling themselves juggalos, and we never were like, yo, you're now juggalos. Never that. You know what I'm saying? Adapted and started doing that.
At this stage, you guys own the word juggalo.
Yeah.
When you hear the word juggalo, you know exactly what that means.
Right. And then Island merged with Def Jam.
Right.
And then just changed.
Yep. Which is true. Like that last part is very fucking true. Let's see. When the music video for Moon for Building Castles Under dropped, the shit made me a little emotional. So fucking great. What up, Illegal? ICP should have been on Def Jam Fight for New York. I mean, like, in a way, Violent J is on Vendetta. Hold on a second. Is it here? Where the fuck is it? Ah, there it is. All right. Let's take a look at this. Is there something in here? Kind of look like a high school teacher tonight. Is that a good thing? Yeah, this doesn't even have like a fucking... It doesn't have like a list of characters or anything like that. Let's see. Featuring more than 40 hip-hop superstars. Bone Crusher, Bubba Sparks, Busta Rhymes, Capone, Carmen Electra, Comp, Crazy Lakes, Danny Trejo, David Banner, DJ Enough, DJ Felly Fell, Elephant Man, Eric Sermon. That's funny. Eric Sermon. Famlay, Fat Joe, Flava Flav, Freeway, Ghostface Killa, Havoc, Henry Rollins. It's not even a rapper. Let's see. Ice-T, Joe Budden, Kimura Lee, Little Flip, Little Kim, for some fucking reason. Nobody cares about Little Kim. Ludacris, Mac 10, Memphis Bleak, Method Man, Norray, Omar Epps, Prodigy, Redman, Scarface, Sean Paul, Shauna, Slick Rick, Snoop Dogg, Sticky Fingers, Warren G, WC, and Exhibit. Yeah, I have a copy of that. Dude, it was not cheap. Like, look at that shit. I bought it for $140. And it's CIB. But anyways, yeah, so like somewhere in there, there's like a clown. I think his name's like Knuckles or something like that. And it's supposed to look like Violent J. Or somewhere close to Violent J, you know what I'm saying? The PE teacher? No, I'm too fat for PE. Dude, could you imagine me as a fucking social studies teacher? Dude, I failed that fucking class. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of stuff in high school that I fucking failed. Like, to me personally, it's like you can't really fucking learn shit. Like, there's barely any fucking retention when you're learning shit in high school. But at the same time, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely not PE. Yeah, like that just wouldn't work out for me. No, you know what I need to be? I need to be like I need to be the music teacher. That's what I would be. It'd be like, okay, listen, we're just gonna learn about bands and shit that I like. Like, gather round, children, and let me tell you the tale about the fucking Sex Pistols. And just for the sake of it, we're gonna watch we're gonna pull out the fucking projector and we're gonna watch SLC Punk. Actually, you know what? Fuck SLC Punk. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna pull out the fucking film projector and we're gonna watch Hardcore Logo. What do you guys know about Hardcore Logo? And then after that, like half the class is gonna call each other pipe fitter. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Anyways, so there you go. You can go on that. You can go on Artist Friendly on YouTube. You can watch the whole fucking thing. I have yet to fucking do that, but I probably will at some point. Let's see. I'm still going with social studies. Crazy helping the youth know the harsh truth about the world. Like, right. Just as soon as everybody gets settled in, just like, let me tell you motherfuckers about what's going on. Okay, back then, before all the plastic surgery, people were not a fan of Little Kim because of her. Dude, Little Kim literally in an interview ended up, like, somebody ended up saying, how did you get to where you are right now? And she said, in this business, you gotta suck a lot of dick to get anywhere, especially if you're a female rapper. So, I got some other shit that I gotta fucking talk about, and this is other stuff that I'm sharing with you guys when it concerns like my fucking TikTok FYP. And I think because of the stuff that I watched on the Edmund Fitzgerald, now my algorithm is starting to understand that I'm not only a Michigander, but I also have Grand Rapids as my stamp. Okay, because this video that I'm about to show you, this was another, like, this is a Grand Rapids thing. Especially if you've ever watched, if you ever go on TikTok, and I think maybe on Instagram as well, there's a channel called Do You Fucking Know? And it actually talks about this little stretch on the highway that we have here in West Michigan called the S-Curve. And the S-Curve is actually a piece of shit, but interestingly enough, it seems to keep the interest of a couple of cats that are at an apartment complex right in front of the, like, just right in front of the S-curve. So this actually says, when you're driving down the S-curve, just know my kitty is watching to make sure you get home safe. So this is what's known as the S-curve. The S-curve is designed specifically and solely to go around some of the buildings that have been mainstays in Grand Rapids for a very long time. A lot of old school brick and mortar warehouses and factories. And the S-curve is designed to go around those. When it was constructed, those buildings were used for a myriad of different things. And so instead of tearing down the buildings and making it a lot easier for the highway to go through, they basically built this as a whole ass bridge. It goes it curves around the buildings and then goes to a different stretch of the fucking highway that leads into either Muskegon, or you could actually, I think, take 131 all the way up to the northernmost point of the lower peninsula of Michigan. But yeah, this video popped up in my FYP. It's a cat that has interest in this S-curve. Look at it. Like, that's it. Like, that's all it was. Now, for some fucking reason, this video, along with other videos of other people living in the same apartment building, of their cats sitting in front of the windowsill, watching cars as they go through northbound 131 here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, specifically the S-curve. And now, because of that, because of these 3 specific videos going viral, now we're getting this shit popping up in my FYP. Hi, S-curve kitty. So this right here is the building that the S-curve kitties are coming from, and they have now been deemed the S-curve kitties. We have a local celebrity and their fucking cats. And I'm sure that they're already fucking more popular right now than Anthony fucking Kiedis, and thank God for that, because fuck Anthony Kiedis. And that's coming from somebody who lives in West Michigan. So yeah, we're getting these type of videos popping up of people that are pulling out their phones and recording themselves driving northbound 131, passing the building that goes to S-curve kitty. And this is very recent. It's not that building, it's the one with all the windows. But you see what I'm talking about? Yeah, fuck Anthony Kiedis, like, all day, disrespectfully. Fuck him. Fucking under the bridge junkie. Like, seriously? Seriously, like, where we're at right here, okay, so let me tell you something. When you go through the S-curve, right? So, this is one of the buildings that they wrap this S-curve around. Now,
hey everyone,
No, fuck you. We're watching S-curve kitty again. Because I had a point that I was trying to make. Okay, so over here there used to be a fish market, and the reason why it was there, it was like a fish restaurant. It's been knocked down. However, behind that is 3 of the major bridges that cross over the Grand River, and those were the same bridges that Anthony Kiedis was shooting up heroin under. I'm surprised. I wonder how he got there, because it sure as hell wasn't jumping off the bridge, because that's usually how people try to commit suicide here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, because it's very low, shallow water, and if you dive in head first, you are a goner, especially if you fucking, like, it does any possible way that you fall off that fucking bridge or jump off that fucking bridge. It's so shallow, and the fucking fall is like 50, 60 fucking feet, maybe even more than that. Yeah, you're gone. And the last thing you're gonna see is fucking Anthony Kiedis under the bridge some down is where he drew some blood. Yeah, like, dude, there's very few fucking songs that, like, if Red Hot Chili Peppers is in my fucking autoplay, I skip it. There's very few songs from Red Hot Chili Peppers that I actually fuck with. All right, so there's that. Yeah, so major shout out to S-curve kitty. And I love this. And on top of that, like, the chick who ended up making the original one, about the cat that's watching it, her cat is now getting fan mail. I saw a video where somebody ended up buying some shit for S-curve kitty on Amazon. You know that fucking there's like a tube thing that goes around, and it actually has like a little bed in the middle, and it fucking has like a little cave that it can go into and shit like that. And apparently S-curve kitty loves that. There's also like the little roller ball of like compressed catnip in a ball that that you can just rub on the cat. And it was like, that's fucking awesome. I love the fact that a fucking cat is getting fucking fan mail, bro. Alright, so I gotta switch over to this channel because we've got some more stuff to talk about outside of that. We're gonna go into fucking video games. Yes, video games. So if you haven't heard about this shit, like I heard about this shit towards the end of last year. One of my friends, my boy Harrison, caught me up on this, which is the Analog 3D. And what this is it's a Nintendo 64 clone. Is the Switch 2 worth getting? Yeah, for the most part. I'm hoping that they fix that fucking issue that they have if you get Switch games. Like there have been some things that happened at the very, early launch period of the Switch 2, where it was like they were trying to put Switch 1. Somebody said that they got their shit locked up because they were trying to put second party fucking Switch 1 games onto it, and it fucking locked it up, but I'm sure that that's gotten fixed since. But for the most part, I feel like right now, if the Switch 2 is still like $500, wait. Just wait to get it. If you're really going to get it, how long before S-Curve Kitty starts in OnlyFans? I don't know, but her owner is pretty fucking good looking, I'm not going to lie. But anyways, this right here, what you're seeing is what's known as the Analog 3D. And what it is it's a Nintendo 64 clone. And granted, this is one of the very few things that, as a collector, this is definitely one of those things that I have to fucking have, because this motherfucker displays in 4K. But I also came across the video that they had made for the press kit. So let's check this out. It's only a 30-second video. Basically, all it's doing is... Here, we're going to bring down the volume here. So it's going to show 1080 skateboarding. So right there you have, right at the front, you're already seeing the front. It's got the same ports for regular, authentic Nintendo 64 controller use. Do I have my fucking controllers ready? No, I do not. But they're somewhere around here. I have a Nintendo 64 controller around here somewhere. Don't know what happened to it. But it's here somewhere. I don't know where it is. But anyways, yeah, so all I have is the fighter stick right now in my general area. But nevertheless, this thing has the capability of using wireless controllers from 8-Bit Do, which is a very good company. I actually highly recommend that. If you're into getting wireless shit, get that, or get the authentic fucking Nintendo 64 controller, because I'm pretty sure that that's going to be compatible with this one too. I might have to look that up. But it's also got the 4-port controller. It's also got the 4 controller ports. Notice how, unlike the Nintendo 64, which had the expansion pack here at the top, this does not have that. As a matter of fact, it says that this is 100% compatible with every single Nintendo 64 cartridge. And I would assume that includes Donkey Kong 64, which was required to have the fucking expansion pack just so it could play. But yeah, so it also has capability of using 8-Bit Do stick controllers. Now this actually shows it actually shows this. This is in 4K, right? But on the system itself, it has the capability to turn on the CRT blurring effect, which, by the way, if you play some of these older games, that's your best fucking option, is to make it look like it's coming out of a CRT. Turn on the fucking CRT shit. But yeah, that's basically all it is. So this system is set to come out in 2 days. On the 18th, this system will be shipped out to all of the people who ended up pre-ordering, and as of right now, it is currently out of stock. I believe that the price that they had set for this was $250. I can definitely double check that. All right, let's check it. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to move this over here so that way you guys can see this shit. All right, so the future is here yesterday, apparently. Yeah, they say the future is here, but we're going back to the past. Now, unfortunately, it is out of stock, but I'm pretty sure that you should be able to get it right here. You see it, notify me when it's available. I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, I want to know things because I definitely want to get this motherfucker. So, yep, the current asking price for it is $249.99. Now, keeping in mind, this is not an emulation station. All right, we're not getting that. This isn't an emulator. All right, it is a reimagining of the N64 in 4K resolution, 10 times the resolution of the original Nintendo 64. The first and perhaps greatest multiplayer system of all time. 007. Deathmatch mode? Come on. And you get to punch anybody in the face who decides to play as Oddjob. I'm just putting that out there. If you decide to play as Jaws on 007, you're an idiot. Analog 3D is 100% compatible with every original Nintendo 64 game ever made. Region-free, Bluetooth LE, dual-band Wi-Fi. I don't know what the Wi-Fi will be for. 4 original-style controller ports, entirely new next-generation analog hardware featuring 3D OS, engineered entirely in FPGA, no emulation. You got to remember that. This is no emulation. You actually have to fucking put the cartridge in the slot. Now, it might actually work similar to, what was that, the Hyperkin fucking Retron 5 that I had, where what it did was it, like, instead of reading the game off of the fucking cartridge, which was how the Nintendo fucking did it, instead, when you put the cartridge in, it dumps the ROM into a temporary memory storage unit. And then when you removed the cart, it erased the fucking ROM dump. So this actually makes me wonder, okay, it's going to be compatible with any and all NES carts, which is good because I have one Japanese cartridge, which I do not know how to fucking read Japanese, but because of the fact that I don't have a Japanese Nintendo 64, I'm unable to play it. But nevertheless, like, having this would actually be good, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to get rid of my Nintendo 64. I'll still keep that sumbitch. So you have this 100% compatibility for the first time ever. Analog 3D represents a milestone in video game preservation. It's not only the world's first reimagining of a Nintendo 64, but the world's first 100% compatible recreation of a Nintendo 64, which is interesting because this is the only company that I know of that actually is taking its time to recreate the Nintendo 64. When Hyperkin came out with their Retron systems, they had one for the regular Nintendo, one for the Game Boy, one for the fucking Atari even, and a Super Nintendo, right? And then you had the Retron 5, which came out so you could play Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Famicom, Super Famicom, Sega Master System, Sega Genesis, Sega Game Gear, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. And then after that, people were like, well, when are they going to come out with a Nintendo 64, like, a Nintendo 64 clone? They never did. So, and on top of that, like, Retron fucked their shit up. So, fuck Retron. Analog spent nearly 4 years in engineering it in FPGA. No more incompatibilities found in software emulation like input lag, graphics, audio inaccuracies, timing, frame rate issues, and more. For the first time, you can re-experience the Nintendo 64 exactly as it was meant to be without compromise. And as we saw in that fucking package, in 4K. Now, this is how it used to look. Old school shit like this. The unmistakable signature and soul of the CRT on your HD TV and in 4K. Thank God for that, because granted, I only have like a 1080p TV, but still 4K is better. Unlike its 2D predecessors, the Nintendo 64 wasn't just about pixels. The original hardware and distinctive approach to rendering polygons and textures depends on the CRT far more critically than simpler 2D systems. Even game developers had to leverage the interplay between the hardware and a CRT to achieve harmony, which most likely is not easy. While very few modern upscalers have transformed the 2D era of video games with pixel-perfect clarity, the Nintendo 64 demands something far more radical, an unmistakable essence of a CRT. Analog 3D brings true CRT reference quality to your HD TV in 4K. Experience the Nintendo 64 with unmatched authenticity and zero lag. It's the Nintendo 64 reborn. So I think in order for that to happen, they probably do have to read it right off the cartridge. Analog 3D's original display modes are meticulously reproduced, virtually indistinguishable recreations of CRT displays, capturing the warmth, depth, and texture in every frame. The soft glow and phosphor and vibrant colors unite with immersive scanlines and shadow masks. This isn't just upscaling, it's an unprecedented transformation. Okay, that's actually unique in a way of how they're fucking explaining this shit. Okay. Is this better to see? Because I'm pretty sure that this is just tough to look at. Alright, Nintendo 64 is perhaps the greatest multiplayer. Around 70% of the game library supports multiplayer. It isn't just an option, it is the heart of the experience. Now, this is the beauty. Okay, like, to me, I find this to be the fucking beauty behind this system, is the fact, like, think about this, okay? Let's talk a quick second about this fucking system in and of itself. Back in the day, when you actually had friends, before fucking, only talking to people through text messages and fucking Facebook Messenger and shit like that, before any and all of this, okay, you would actually have to physically go over to someone's house to play a multiplayer game. In the gathering in 2002 in Peoria, Illinois, they actually had a 4 Xbox system set up for 16-player Halo death matches. Like, you literally had to fucking go over to the house. Like, back in the day when Conker's Bad Fur Day came out, right? They had a 4-player deathmatch version in that game. So, and I had 3 friends from high school. 3 out of us 4 lived together. So when we were all home from work, we'd fucking sit down. We'd play WWE, No Mercy. Or we would play fucking Conker's Bad Fur Day and multiplayer the shit out of that shit, So with that, it's like, that's an incredible fucking experience. But this actually makes me wonder. Okay? Like, here's the 8-bit do controller. So this is the controller that they are basing a lot of this shit around. No golden gun rule. No memes. I'm just saying that for the sake of saying it. So here we have the 8-bit do 64 controller. Halo, no Banshees. Fuck. Like, dude, I thought you were talking about 007. That's more important to me. Fuck Halo in comparison to fucking 007 GoldenEye. But anyways, yeah, so they have this, which I guess you could say is not that different than the Hyperkin Fighter Stick. This kind of sucks, though. I'm not a fan of this controller. Just, like, personally, like, when I play on a Nintendo 64, I want the Trident. The Trident is a much better fucking controller. And I have one. I just don't want to dig it out of a box. But this apparently is the shit that they are looking at. And by the way, also, 8-bit do has a mod to make a Nintendo 64 controller Bluetooth wireless. Just like I did with my regular NES controllers, just like I did with my Super NES controller, and I swapped out the board and made it a Bluetooth compatible motherfucker. It has the same fucking thing for Nintendo 64 controllers, which I am going to incorporate. So, more talky. Now, from what I'm seeing on here, this I'm confused on. Okay, so this makes me wonder. Like, it looks like it obviously has the capability to play the cartridge, but it also makes me wonder, is it going to have because it like shows library, memories over here, and then over here you have a list of all of the fucking, a whole list of fucking games in the library. So GoldenEye 007, Doom 64, which obviously you can't see. So like over here you have like play cartridge, library, memories. You can create screenshots of video games that you're playing. Over here is an entire list. And it's like, where's this fucking list coming from? What is this list? You know what I'm saying? So it makes me wonder, does it only play off of the cartridge? Or with this list of games right here, does that also make it so you can install the games, you know, dump the ROM of the games and put them on the fucking library, as long as you have a physical copy of it? And it's not like you can get Nintendo 64 games at video game rental places anymore because they're all fucking gone. And then over here you have your ability to change a network, private Wi-Fi address. So it looks like that you can also use this to connect online and possibly do deathmatch shit in that sense. Then over here you have your controllers. You can pair new controllers, add the wired controllers to player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4. Change up the order. So that's the interesting shit. Now here's some tech specs. All right, compatibility, original N64 game cartridges, original controllers and accessories, original style Nintendo 64 cartridge slot, and it's region free. Video capabilities, it has 4K HDMI output, NTSC and PAL support, lag free, zero signal degradation, original display modes, variable refresh rate, which is like 50-60 frames per second, I believe. The 8-bit do 64 controller is $40, sold separately, not included with the analog. Compatible with the analog 3D, Switch, Windows, Android, blah blah blah. That's about that motherfucker. Okay, so what's in the box? The system itself, a pre-installed 16 gigabyte SD card, an HDMI cable, a USB cable, a worldwide USB-C power supply, which can be used to plug that in. There's the dimensions. Here are the features, which I feel this is the most important. A built-in expansion pack. So, like I said before, you need to have that in order to fucking run. Can I increase the... Where am I? Okay, there we go. So yeah, you need that shit. Hold on, is this going to make it look better? Yeah, that makes it look a little bit better. So you have your built-in expansion pack. You have your built-in memory pack. So rather than using the memory pack from the fucking controller, that's why you have the wireless capability. So you can save your games onto the 16 gigabyte SD card. Your game saves. 3D OS, dual band Wi-Fi, and wireless 3D OS updating. That still makes me wonder if that means that you can connect to the internet and play with another person via multiplayer. All right, so you have Bluetooth Classic and LE, 4-player support, wireless and wired, and with the built-in, let's see, what is it? So 4-player support, 4 original style controller ports, 2 USB-A ports for charging and wired support. So you can use other 8-bit DO controllers and wired USB-based controllers in the back. You also have SD card slot, including a 16 gigabyte SD card, the 16 gigabyte SD card, which is pre-installed, USB-C power input. And then the audio, 48 kilohertz, 16-bit PCM audio. So that's kind of similar. It is like I said, it's $250. It's currently out of stock. Go on the website like I did earlier. Go on the website, click the out of stock button, click whatever one of these, and then hit the notify me when available. Drop your email on there. You're going to want this if you're a Nintendo 64 fan. Trust me. Now, the other thing, too, in video games is Steam coming out with their own shit, too. All right, so let's move this out of the way. So Steam, everybody knows, is a major heavy hitter when it concerns like playing games on your PC and shit. PC Master Race and Steam go together like peanut butter and fucking raspberry jam. Trust me when I say that's actually good. But now they're coming out with a whole bunch of portable shit, and they're also coming out with a console of their own, so which is interesting.
Hey everyone, this is Steam Deck. Steam Deck is our powerful, portable, handheld gaming PC that lets you take your Steam library with you anywhere.
Now, this is curious for me just because, well, I don't have very many games for Steam. Most of the stuff that I really want to get for Steam shit is games that I know for a fact are never going to hit consoles, like Hatred. Or The Sims, the original Sims. Like I have the whole fucking care package of The Sims on my PC. I usually use that whenever I get fucking bored and want to stream something else, and I try to make money for my shit. You know what I'm saying? On Twitch. So it makes me wonder, can I play that on a Steam Deck? Can I play The Sims on a fucking Steam Deck?
We're pretty proud of it. People who own Steam Decks have been playing everywhere, and we couldn't be happier with the response we've heard from all of you.
Word.
We're excited to talk about the future of Steam Deck, but not today, because this isn't a video about the future of Steam Deck. This is a video about the future of Steam hardware. Today, we're announcing 3 new members of the Steam hardware lineup.
Okay.
All connect you with powerful PC gaming. All are optimized for gaming with Steam, and all are shipping in early 2026. Let's start with this one.
Okay.
So, this is the new Steam controller.
Why is that thing so fucking big? Like, okay, look, I get the ABXY shit. I understand 2 joysticks. I understand 2 fucking triggers on the left and the right. What's with the fucking pads underneath the sticks?
The new Steam controller puts all of your Steam games at your fingertips, so you can play wherever and however you want. Just like with Steam Deck, we want you to be able to play any game with your Steam controller, even games never built with a controller in mind. It has all the great features from Steam Deck, like trackpads, gyro, and back buttons.
The back buttons always annoy the shit out of me because of the way that I hold my controller.
Thumbsticks let you play with improved responsiveness and longevity. We've put capacitive touch sensors on the thumbsticks and now on the back of the controller too, so you can enable precision gyro aiming with the touch of your thumb or your pinky if you're feeling fancy.
I don't know. I'm not comfortable with that.
Play for way too long with a rechargeable lithium-ion battery that allows for over 35 hours of playtime.
Oh, I'll be the judge of that.
We want to make charging and wireless pairing something that's actually easy. That's why we created the Puck. The Puck is a combination wireless adapter and magnetic charger included with every Steam controller.
Okay.
Snap it on to charge. Once you're charged up, snap it off again.
That's actually pretty cool. I like that.
Connection too. The new Steam controller works with any device running Steam or Steam Link.
Okay, so now the Steam Deck basically is in competition with the Switch 2. It is what I'm getting at with this one.
Whether it's a PC, Mac, handheld, smartphone, Steam Deck, or the new Steam Machine. Oh, this is the new Steam Machine.
Oh yeah, this is the thing that everybody's been fucking raving about.
Steam Machine is a powerful gaming PC in a small but mighty package.
Wow.
Designed for your games on the big screen. It's quiet too, which is crazy since it's 6 times more powerful than a Steam Deck. Powered by a discrete, semi-custom AMD GPU, enabling 4K gaming at 60
Holy
frames per
shit,
second
that
with
looks
FSR.
dope.
Steam Machine runs SteamOS made for a bigger screen, built for gaming in your living room, your office, or wherever you play.
Now, what's funny to me is like there's somebody that I saw that said that with the Steam OS, it's basically a fucking PC. It's basically a gaming PC that you can hook up to your fucking TV, which means that it's open for fucking possible emulation.
With the rest of your PC accessories. Steam Machine borrows some great features from Steam Deck, like lightning fast sleep and wake, an SD card slot to easily expand your storage, and brings some new tricks of its own, like a customizable LED strip, which can show different system functionalities, or your own light show. Steam Machine is a PC.
Okay.
Run whatever software you want, and it works with all your favorite desktop and gaming accessories.
How much is this motherfucker?
Steam Machine is designed to work hand in hand with the Steam controller, with the low latency, wireless connectivity of the Steam controller puck built right in.
Because yes, I am gonna need this.
To your phone, tablet, laptop, Steam Deck, or Steam Frame. Oh, yep. This is Steam Frame.
I don't care if it's fucking 3D shit. I don't care about that yet.
Steam Frame is Valve's next generation VR hardware. Stream all your Steam games, VR
Holy
and non-VR
Ready
alike,
Player
in
One,
this
like what the
comfortable,
shit?
Lightweight, wireless VR headset. Steam Frame uses camera-based tracking, so getting into your games is as easy as slipping on the headset and waking it up. Steam Frame controllers, included with the headset,
Then it reads your fucking eye, your pupil dilation and all that other shit. And then it hacks into your fucking brain. This is how AI is going to take over. I shit you not. This is the Matrix in the works.
are designed with all the inputs you need for your VR titles, like motion controls and capacitive tracking for all your fingers, as well as a split gamepad layout to work with your whole Steam library. They even feature the same magnetic thumbsticks as Steam controller.
Can I get one of those
and
for my
longevity.
fucking Nintendo
Steam
64
Frame
controller?
also pairs seamlessly with the new Steam controller, a great companion for playing non-VR games in the headset. To make
What
sure
the
streaming
fuck?
is smooth and stable no matter what, Steam Frame includes a wireless adapter that lets you stream your games from your PC to your headset over a fast and dedicated Wi-Fi 6 connection. And the game is streamed to your frame optimized for VR, using new technology that allows for the highest resolution streaming exactly where your eyes are looking. And Steam Frame is a PC running Steam OS. In addition to streaming,
The
you can install and play a bunch of VR and non-VR games right in the headset without a host PC. You can also expand your onboard storage to fit.
I'm confused by this. I would need to see this for myself in order to get myself to understand this shit. As soon as and that's just how it is for me. Like, as soon as I put that motherfucker on my head, I would know how to run it. Like, that's just how it is for
even
me.
more games with a micro SD card. Steam Controller, Steam Machine, and Steam Frame. All built with the same DNA as Steam Deck. All powered by Steam, work together, and can be used however you'd like with whatever peripherals and accessories you choose.
Now, right now, I will say this. I'm interested. Like, I am not necessarily fully invested, but I have a very high interest in this. And the reason being is because of some of the games that I already have in my Steam Deck, in my Steam account. So some of the games that I have Hatred, I have The Sims Legacy Collection, River City Ransom Underground, Micro Mages. I also have another copy of the Angry Video Game Nerd 1 and 2 Deluxe. And I have a few other games on Steam, but like I said before, I don't try to get any I don't try to get any games on Steam that I can already easily get on consoles. So, like, my Steam collection would be heavily limited.
Everything you see here is the culmination of what we've learned from our previous hardware experience.
How much is it?
We wanted ourselves as gamers. Powerful PC gaming in an open ecosystem, giving you more ways to enjoy the games you love and discover new ones. Steam Controller, Steam Machine, and Steam Frame are
2026.
all shipping in early 2026. Learn more at steampowered.com/hardware.
All right, let's go to that. All right, let's look it up. All right, so let's take a look. We're going to take a look at the Steam Machine. Let's see how much that's going to cost us. All right. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, we already know this shit. Okay, I/O for days. Get ready for all the peripherals and monitors you can throw it at. 1 gigabit Ethernet, DisplayPort 1.4, HDMI 2.0, 1 USB-C and 4 USB-A ports. Okay, this has a little asterisk you can throw at it, but like, don't actually throw things at it. Yep. Available in 2 storage sizes. 512 gigabytes and 2 terabytes. Why would you want anything less? Why would you want the smaller one? Just get the 2 terabyte boy. Both come with an expandable storage via micro SD. Now, can you also add a fucking external hard drive to that and get you even more shit? How much is this motherfucker? That's all I want to know. God damn it. Dude, I just want to know, how much is it going to cost? All right, well, let's see how much the Okay, so as of right now, the 1 terabyte OLED is $650. Oh, and then it comes with a separate docking station. The Steam Deck docking station connects your Steam Deck to external displays, wired networking, USB peripherals, and power. So you would use this to fucking charge the motherfucker, and that in and of that's $70 separate. Okay, that's cool. All right, let's fucking go on Google and see how much this Steam PC is going to cost. Okay. Oh shit. The sale price for the new Steam PC system is projected to be around $600, though other estimates place it higher, between $800 and $1,200, depending on the configuration. Analysts suggest the starting price of approximately $400 could make it a competitive alternative to current consoles, while a price above $500 might risk being perceived as a niche PC. So basically, at this point, like my goal with this one is to basically get this motherfucker. Like I said, if I get this motherfucker, then the only reason why I would get it is just to play the games that I can't fucking play on my PC. Like that's it. So, over time, eventually, I would get enough games to actually fill that sumbitch up. What up, Urban Odyssey? I put product in it. That's all. I decided to do the hair up. But anyways, yeah, so like getting the Steam PC, the only reason why I would get it is just to play the games that I can't play on the consoles. That's it. Like that's the only reason. Other than that, I mean, for one, I already have a good chunk of fucking games. Like I have over 1,000 video games in my shit already as it is. So that'll be some interest, so that'll be interesting. But it said sometime in 2026. So sometime next year, Steam PC, the fucking controller, which is probably going to be like another $100, I'll fucking buy it. And then the headset, the VR headset, which I really don't have that much interest in. For some reason, I just don't have interest in VR shit. I know it's all the rave and everybody wants to fucking get into that stuff, but not me. All right. Here we go. We're going to go into the next fucking order of business, the final shit. We talked about Juggalo stuff. I talked about local shit. Talked about video game shit. Fuck it. Let's go into politics. So, what you guys know about something about these emails? You guys heard about this? You guys know about this? The fucking Epstein file emails. Interesting, some of the stuff that I've been hearing about this.
Trump is on the Epstein list. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. He was caught with one of the girls. Oh my god, it's all been released in emails. Well, guys, guess what? No matter as much as the Democrats want to make you believe that Donald Trump was the one who committed these horrific crimes, it's actually a complete false allegation.
Yeah, so apparently 3 or 4 days after the shutdown finally stopped happening, all of a sudden, some of these emails from Jeffrey Epstein talking about Donald Trump with certain names redacted from them ended up popping out. And a lot of these psychotic fucking liberals on the far left ended up being like, we got him this time, the smoking fucking gun, as if anything else that they have done the entire fucking time has worked since 2015. You know what I'm saying? On the bright side, you said product and not there's something about Mary. Yeah, I know. I'm still trying to look for possible Maryisms in my hair. The dirty Donald emails that Team Blue keeps spitting about. Yeah, the fucking blue coats keep on fucking trying to look for something. Like, dude, have you figured it out yet? Have these people fucking figured it out yet? That no matter what you do, you motherfuckers have become so solidified in trying to find something on Donald Trump. It's like, no matter how minuscule the fucking W is, it's a Chuck Reevesism at this point. It's like, I don't care who else has to fucking take a fall, even if it's somebody on my side. As long as we can get a small, a fucking lowercase W against Donald Trump, that's going to be fine for me. You know, that's basically how they're fucking looking at it. It's fucking pathetic. But these emails that came out with redacted names, guess what? Those already came out without the names fucking redacted.
Shocker. The name that was redacted from the initial emails, the one right here that just simply says victim, well, it's come out that that victim was actually Virginia Goffrey, who repeatedly said after this all went viral, President Trump was not involved in any wrongdoing whatsoever.
Not just her, but like everybody else that has taken the fucking stand that they thought was going to be something that could be used against Donald Trump over the fucking Epstein shit. Even Ghislaine Maxwell has fucking said Donald Trump had nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, she said it, Virginia Jeffries said it. Everybody that they have fucking used or tried to use to link up Donald Trump with this fucking shit. Everybody said that Donald Trump has had no involvement whatsoever.
She's actually posted about this all throughout her memoir. She's gone to trial with this. She's talked to numerous individuals who are part of both administrations in the Democratic Party as well as the Republican Party and all higher ups in the authorities. But why, oh why, did Democrats decide to hone in on this particular woman? Well,
yeah,
because she died just last April.
Damn, family. Yeah, it's very easy to manipulate and twist the words of somebody or to negate somebody when they're dead, and when you talk shit about the person that they said had nothing to do with anything involving Epstein Island, they can't fucking talk back because they're dead. That's fucking low.
And of course, because she's dead, she's not actually able to continue to speak about her story. So of course, Democrats are pinpointing an email that was related to one victim in hopes that one, we wouldn't find out that it was her, but two, even if we did, now we can't have a conversation.
Oh, shit.
So please, stop being brainwashed by the Democrats. Stop allowing them to fearmonger you.
Yes.
Stop allowing your liberal content creators, Aaron Parnas, Harry Sisson,
Chris Valenti, fuck him too. Dean, Parker.
Chris Valenti.
Oh, yes! This is wife material, I'm just saying.
From once again claiming that Donald Trump had any wrongdoing in this case. Because again, had he done so, they had all chance in hell to release it during Biden's administration and during the last election. And of course, because we're coming up on midterms here, and of course, after Democrats were already now being called out by their own party for what they did for the government shutdown, and like I said before, they're pulling the Epstein files out of their back pocket, and they're going to manipulate it to try to sway the opinions of individuals who don't want to do their own research. So once again, Donald Trump is not guilty of this. And I can't wait for this all to be put to rest.
I fucking agree. Give me a quick second. I've got to switch out the batteries because this one died. But let's discuss this, shall we? All right. So, basically, they try to use this email as a smoking gun to try to have something on Donald Trump, as I said before. Now, what's funny is like the worst of it all, I think there was somebody who ended up pointing out. Somebody ended up pointing out in one of the emails that fucking Jeffrey Epstein put out. Like, he ended up saying something about Donald Trump blowing Bubba. And a lot of people have assumed that that meant Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton's nickname was Bubba. And in Jeffrey Epstein's estate, there is actually a painting of Bill Clinton in a blue dress. Which in and of itself is kind of awkward for Jeffrey Epstein to have in his estate. But it's funny as hell because like this is another one of those things that I forgot to pull up a video of some people fucking being like, oh, there's another fucking there's another one right there in the barrel for fucking, going after Donald Trump. But to me, it's like, okay, this is another one of those situations where they're mocking like the people on the left are actually mocking Donald Trump because of this email that's saying something about fucking Donald Trump blowing Bill Clinton, allegedly. And it's like, it got me thinking about this. Because it's like they're the ones who try to fucking say that we on the right are against homos, and there's like homophobia, like we're afraid of gay people or we hate gay people or whatever the fuck, which is fucking retarded. But it's like, okay, what if that's the case, then why is it that the people on the left are mocking this shit in a way of saying, you're weaponizing homosexuality to take a jab at the president? Did you not think about that one? Like if you're using and weaponizing homosexuality against the president for something that was said in a fucking email from a dead guy, that kind of makes you a hypocrite if that's what you're going to try to do. Not to mention, wouldn't that actually make Donald Trump, if like seriously think about it. I saw this video where a guy ended up saying all Donald Trump has to do is own it. Even if it's not true and he fucking owned it, he could literally be considered the first gay president of the United States. And he'd be on the fucking Republican side, which is very unusual for the Republican side if you think about it. And not to mention, nobody on the right really gives a shit if you're gay or not. It seems like most people on the left would tend to weaponize this shit. Like they claim that they don't care if you're gay or something like that, but the minute that you do something that they do not like, they will use that against you. Like, that's some fucked up shit. And don't say that they won't. They have. If you've ever seen a black Republican on social media and you go into their comment sections in their videos and shit, it's mostly people from the left that are calling them all sorts of Uncle Toms and all this other shit. Doing, and it's kind of fucking messed up. And it's usually like fucking guilty white people that are riddled with white guilt. The ones that think that what they need to do is kiss fucking... kiss the feet of BLM members and Jasmine Crockett for some fucking reason. These people that are completely and utterly riddled with a whole shit fuck ton of white guilt. And they're the ones that'll actually call black people on the Republican side all sorts of racist shit. They're cool with black people as long as black people are voting for the same people who created the Ku Klux Klan. And then, there's some other fucking stupid racist arguments and shit like that when it concerns that, when realistically, there was racism on both sides. And there was also some very good, some very fine people on both sides. I'm just pointing that out. At some point, everyone is going to have to accept that for about 4 decades, our country and the world really has been ran by men who have immoral sexual encounters with willing minors, in my opinion. No, like, that is a good chunk of, like, that's a good chunk of a lot of the people that we look up to, a good chunk of them. You ever notice that when they step out of line, like, that's when shit starts fucking popping off about them and shit? It's like, Rosie O'Donnell maybe, or fucking, what, David Letterman and Ben Roethlisberger seem to have sex addictions back in the day. That kind of stupid shit. But I will say this though, I find this interesting because like they want to fucking use the smoking gun of the Epstein files to like try to say that, oh, he did some gay shit with Bill Clinton. You know what I'm saying? The whole reason for white guilt, you have to look deeper behind the scenes. The Zionists created cancel culture. They hate white Christians, and it comes in the form of the society we're in now. Which is interesting. Like, if what you're saying is true, then that's interesting because, like, there's a lot of people on the right that are also Zionists. And it's the left that created cancel culture. But now it's the left that's basically going against fucking Zion and shit like that. Like, they've become anti-Zionist. And you can tell with the fucking election results in New York City of, who it is that they fucking voted for. That can really tell you who's Zionist and who's not. But, like, like, that to me is interesting because now it's also created a whole bunch of fucking anti-Semitism with that shit. And that's something that I am definitely against. 100 fucking %. But like I was saying, I find it interesting that people on the left, and don't tell me that I'm wrong, because I know that I'm right when I say that a lot of people on the left will use race and sexual orientation as weapons against people that disagree with them. The minute that you disagree with them, they will go after your sexuality, they will go after your race, they will go after what you believe, and try to weaponize that shit. Strangely enough, this is what they're doing in fucking Portland when it concerns weaponizing gay shit. Sweating to the fucking Antifa. Guys, we need to think of a way to stop ICE. Let's just have a flash mob in front of ICE headquarters in Portland, Oregon. To "We Didn't Start the Fire" by Billy Joel. I thought they stopped. All right. Like, I thought they stopped doing shit in fucking Oregon with ICE and shit like that. And I think what it was is like the cops. I think I talked about this a week or so ago, and they were like, "What are we gonna do to fucking stop this shit?" I don't know, the gayest fucking 80s thing that we could possibly think of. Something that the boomers might fucking enjoy, because let's face it, it's mostly Gen Z kids that don't know what the fuck is going on. And I've got a video to show that shit. I've got some other videos I want to show before we get into that. Or it's fucking boomers that also are so immersed in fucking mainstream television and mainstream media and news that they're just basically fucking brainwashed at this point. I think there's this one girl on TikTok that I watch her lives a lot. She debates the ops, and her name is Millie Shushies. And she ended up pointing out to a lot of people that they've been propagandized because of the stuff that they see on the internet and in legacy media. And that's what they're doing. '80s fucking aerobics. That'll show them. Yeah, just make sure that you don't get hit with any rubber bullets. Now, here's another thing that I thought was interesting. Like, if you think, like, God, you're gonna love this because it's almost as if the, like, this kid that I'm about to show you was raised right. Trump is the man after tonsils removed. Like, this girl is still high on anesthetics. Like, she had to have her tonsils removed. She's drinking a fucking Slurpee, and she's still high on anesthesia.
Anybody who says differently has a mental disorder.
Who's the man?
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
If I wanted to speak to Donald Trump, I would tell him that I love him so much and he made the country a better place. I'm sure my dad agrees.
Definition of irony: a group including some flamers dancing to "We Didn't Start the Fire." Dude, this little girl gets it. Like, she is so fucking stoned.
Yup. And I will forever debate the Democrats because they don't know what they're talking about. Right, Dad? Good. Somebody give me a Trump hat.
Here you go, kid. She is so fucking out of it.
McDonald's! I seen Donald Trump working there too.
I love that. I love that. The fucking kid's like, McDonald's! Donald Trump worked there too. Hell yeah, now they just need to pass a fucking dump truck and she'll be like, he did that shit too.
Yeah, he did.
Yep, because he's the man. And he supports small businesses.
I mean, McDonald's isn't a small business, but I get the gist.
Even though McDonald's is a small business.
I mean, technically, like, there are some McDonald's that are business owned, and then there's some that are actually privately owned. Like, we have that here in West Michigan because one of the first McDonald's that Ray Kroc worked on building is actually here in Grand Rapids, Michigan on 28th Street. Dude. Oh, there's my cat. Like, I saw my cat, and then all of a sudden I turn around and he's gone. Hey, you. Stupid. Zeus. He's like hunting something, I think. I think he's looking for a bug or something to hunt.
But he cares about everybody.
Yeah, he does.
Right, Dad?
Yeah, baby.
You goddamn right, kid.
When I'm able to vote, he better still be alive. Because I love him so much.
Now, I don't know if this would be like... It's definitely a good sign to seeing a youngin' that understands what's real and what's not real. Now, like, at the same time, this might be, like, her, like, parroting things that she's heard her parents talk about. Or maybe she might be based and fucking watches this shit on her own.
And if it weren't for Donald Trump, we wouldn't be safe.
I agree.
Right?
Right.
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 You said about me having the last word, but you have to have the last word. How is that so?
I don't know, baby.
She is so fucking
I'm just really
stoned.
hungry.
I am too, but I can't swallow anything, so I'm gonna have to stick with this delicious slushy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think Daddy wants a steak.
It tastes like freedom.
And Mommy wants lobster. But you can have that fancy dinner with Donald Trump. Because that's what I want.
I'd love to have a fancy dinner with Donald Trump.
Yeah, me too. I cherish that
At the
forever.
ballroom.
And all you people, better vote for him if you want our country to be safe. Right?
Well, they already voted, honey.
Good. But they better vote again. Because I don't know if he's running again.
2028.
Again.
Throw some 2028s in the chat.
He can't. I don't think.
What do you mean can't?
Because he already ran, and then we had Joe Biden, and now we have Trump again.
So then who's going to be the next Republican president?
J.D. Vance.
Then vote for J.D. Vance.
Yeah. I don't know what's being played on that radio, though.
Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk.
Yes.
You were a good man.
Yes. This girl knows what's up.
Watching you rage bait the Democrats. You were very funny.
Oh, yeah, this girl knows what time it is.
Feel me?
I feel you.
Nobody should be killed for political rights.
Yes. Yeah. This little girl is stoned. This girl is stoned out of her fucking gourd, and she knows what time it is. Okay. Yep. I'm with you on that one.
But that stuff was good.
She is. Yeah. Oh, it worked. It worked. It worked so well that you're fucking stoned out of your gourd in the backseat of the car, giving Donald Trump his fucking flowers. It's awesome. This kid needs to go super viral.
A little message.
Her dad's loving it, though. Dude, kids are awesome. Like, just, that's fantastic. But this is, like, that was one, oh man, that was funny as hell the first time I watched it. But then, you got this one. Not necessarily a kid, maybe still a kid in my eyes, but this I thought was really dope because this kind of ties in two different things that I've talked about on this show before. Donald Trump and Ozzy.
I mean, should we play the voicemail?
Yeah.
Yes.
Not saying who it's from. Everyone will know.
Hi Sharon, it's Donald Trump, and I just wanted to wish you the best and the family great. Ozzy was amazing. He was an amazing guy. I met him a few times, and I want to tell you, he was unique in every way and talented. So I just wanted to wish you the best.
I don't like the music that's playing though, but
I know how close you were, and whatever I can do, take care of yourself. Say hello to the family. Thanks. Bye.
like, that's fucking beautiful. Like, he ended up sending that voicemail when he found out that Ozzy passed away. Now, I know as a juggalo, we see Sharon a little bit differently, but this one, honestly, like, I have to say Sharon Osbourne still does have her moments that are actually pretty good.
Love him or hate him, he didn't have to call and leave a voicemail.
A delight to talk to, his wife.
Yeah.
And he was always, how are the children? How's Kelly? I'm so proud of Kelly. And
which is interesting because Kelly does not like him. Like, on one of these podcasts, she actually ended up saying some of the stupidest shit I had ever heard her or anybody fucking say. You know, without the immigrants, who's going to clean our toilets? Okay, you prissy little bitch. I don't know. Sid Wilson can do it.
Jack for what they've done, and their manners are great, and he was just a a great guy to talk to, and he has always treated me with respect. He wanted nothing from us. Nothing. Melania the same. Nothing. And they have been great. And for him to take his time to do that for us, and because you know what? He doesn't live in a bubble. He knows what's going on in the streets. He knows what is going on. Again, for President Trump and Melania, thank you.
Now, there was a couple of things that were actually taken out of that clip. One of the things was like when Sharon first started talking, she ended up saying that, you know, she's not political. Like, she doesn't vote. She never has voted. She never will vote. And then she ended up saying that stuff about Donald Trump. And then right around that part where she was like saying that Donald Trump knows what's going on out in the streets. He knows what's going on. And she's like, she ends up veering off and saying, I wish I could say the same thing about our prime minister. And then she kind of went back to what she was talking about. Which, yeah, that says to me, like, I really like seeing that, you know, Sharon and Jack, like, they understand, like, okay, he's not, like, necessarily the most favorited man on the planet, if not our country, but still, nevertheless, you know, like, this is a side of Trump that Democrats and leftists either don't see or refuse to see, is that at the end of the day, Donald Trump is still a human being and still has feelings and still cares about people and shit like that. All they really see is, oh, he's a billionaire, this, that, and the other, you know, and they don't like the billionaires or anything like that because they're being told not to. And I personally think, by the way, that the only reason why they do that, and just judging by some of the people that I've heard debating people on the right on TikTok, like Millie Shushies that I fucking mentioned before. There was one guy I heard, he basically said that he wants this, that, and the other for his fucking life, but then when people, oh, it wasn't Millie Shushies, it was somebody else. Somebody who goes by the name Kmart. And one girl who calls herself Trumpy. So like this guy was like saying, I want to do this, that, and the other with my life. But then it's like, okay, they ask him, what are you doing to get to that fucking level? And he's like, nothing. Like, long story short, he didn't literally say nothing, but basically he was saying shit that was like, I tried doing this for a day, I tried doing this for a day, and nothing seems to work, so I just kind of gave up. And it's like, dude, what is it that you aspire to do? He's like, well, this, that, and the other, but I need capital in order to fucking get it, and I can't figure out a way on how to get the capital. And no matter, for like an hour, all of the people that were on the panel were suggesting things to him, and he had something negative to say or something to downplay whatever it was that they suggested. And eventually they just gave up and just assumed that he's just being an internet troll. And it's like, that actually is kind of the mindset of some of these people, where they just feel like that they're doomed to fail, and so they just shut everything down or turn everything down, and everything is the fault of everybody else. And it's like it's very fucking lazy and very, what's the word that I want to fucking use? Like they expect to just have things given to them, you know? And it's like, that's not how it works, okay? There is a blend of democracy and fucking capitalism that goes on in this fucking country, and if you're able to blend those properly, then you can get whatever it is that you fucking want. You just have to fucking work for it. And that's the problem that I foresee with a lot of people, is that they want things, but they don't want to fucking work for it. Well, sorry, but daddy government's not going to give you everything that you want. You actually have to fucking go and work for it. Can't see because they are happier walking around with their eyes glued the fuck shut, because if they do not see it, it isn't happening because it doesn't fit their agenda. Right. And also at the same time, mind you, and I still see this fucking gatekeeping dumb shit, by the way, and I feel like that this is an interesting way to tie this in. So I came across a video from a guy, I think his name is Libertarian Jesus, and he's going back and forth with a video that he stitched where this dude is once again trying to say you can't be conservative and be goth at the same time. It's kind of like how earlier, I think it was like earlier today or yesterday, I came across a post on Facebook, and some dumbass is trying to fucking say that you can't be conservative and a juggalo, and it's like, dude, fuck off. Yes, you can. Like, it's very easy because juggalos come from all walks of life. Just because you're a conservative or a Republican voter doesn't automatically mean that you wave the rebel flag and, are racist and all that other shit. But let's just watch this next video. Hold on, let me queue up the channel. All right, let's go ahead and go.
I'm a conservative goth. Of course I don't know my culture's history, and I'm ill-informed.
What?
Does this guy know he just played himself? Anybody else hear the contradiction?
I like that flag in Homeboy's background. Benjamin Franklin quote, "Tax this dick." That's funny as hell.
Clearly he's trying to say that conservatives can't be goth, but ironically he's also implying that they are part of the culture and history. They just don't know the history, even though most of the time these people think it started with the music, when in reality it started with the literature.
Edgar Allan Poe, I think, is one of them. Shakespeare is another popular one.
In the early 1800s. Of course, by acknowledging goth's roots in literature would mean acknowledging its conservative origins, but I digress.
I'm a conservative goth. Of course I don't listen and pay attention to the music sleeps.
Kind of like how you've clearly never read the gothic literature that inspired the music.
Boom!
You're citing. Because the literature, such as Bram Stoker's Dracula or Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, had very conservative Christian elements to it.
Oh, so classic horror-themed literature, like Frankenstein or Dracula, seems to have conservative values behind it. That's got to say something about anybody, like any juggalo who's got a fucking Frankenstein or a fucking Dracula tattoo that, says fuck the right, cut your arm off. It doesn't fit your narrative, sir.
I'm a conservative goth. Most people I look up to are domestic abusers or rapists.
Oh God, dude, I'm trying to look. I'm just taking a quick gander at this kid. So, look, like, okay, not trying to pay attention to Libertarian Jesus at the bottom right, but like taking a look at this fucking kid. This kid is literally Steve-O from SLC Punk. Because if you've ever watched, like I said, I watched SLC Punk the other day, and the whole idea behind what was going on with Steve-O was that Steve-O was punk in the sense of being punk for the look, like it was performative. And this kid, I'm looking at him and I'm thinking to myself, this motherfucker, and anybody who says that goth is not conservative is a performative goth. This is an argument that I've been having in my head for like the last couple of months.
People I look up to are domestic abusers or rapists.
And
what?
Once again, he plays himself. So, are you saying that goth culture is full of abusers and rapists? Because that sounds like what you're implying. I'm fairly certain Alice Cooper, who is a conservative goth, never really abused anyone or assaulted anyone.
No, he hasn't. And on top of that, he's very fucking intelligent if we know our Alice Cooper in Wayne's World.
Of course, Ozzy Osbourne, who would be conservative by modern political standards, did have that one incident, but it's also what motivated him to go to rehab and get sober, so, yeah. Oh, and
okay.
For the record, just about every subculture and demographic has abusers and rapists. And trying to paint the whole of the demographic based on the worst individuals within it is the most cliche bad faith argument. You know, people who actually engage in politics on a regular basis don't feel the need to do that because their ideas stand on their own.
Right.
I'm a conservative goth. I don't care that my fashions culture has been standing out from societal norms and not conforming to the conservative mindset.
Actually.
Oh my God. Imagine being so fairly obviously conformist, because let's face it, today's goth isn't like it was 40 years ago. Hell, it wasn't even like it was 20 years ago. You mentioned H.P. Lovecraft, and there was something that I used to have within arm's reach. And it's not anymore. But I actually have a crocheted doll of Cthulhu. They're like, oh my God, you take a look at this kid. Do you want to be the pot or the fucking kettle with this, talking about societal norms and conformity when you yourself are obviously a performative goth kid? Because, like I said, goth isn't like it was 40 years ago. Hell, it's not even the same as it was 15 years ago. Alice Cooper was abusive. He used to beat the hell out of his liver to the point he was pissing blood. Okay, fair enough.
Societal norms and not conforming to the conservative mindset.
Actually, the fashion itself is heavily rooted in a lot of conservative sectors.
But at the same time, it's like the only reason why he's dressing up like he is right now, and a lot of modern goths that I see, especially on social media, a lot of modern goths dress the way that they do now because that's how goths dressed up back in the day. So in a way, it is kind of performative and conformist.
Did you know goth culture as we know it today is heavily rooted in workers, and most workers are actually heavily conservative? Where do you think y'all got the idea of wearing platform shoes? The idea
Damn, son! He's got a point.
Black, that's typically what people wore to a funeral at churches. Then,
yeah.
Of course, there was the Addams Family and the Munsters.
I love
that
this.
Depicted a nuclear conservative family. They were just a little bit different.
I see. I really loved that comparison. The fact that he mentions those two family those families of characters, the Addams Family and the Munsters, which I love the Addams Family, and I grew up watching the Munsters. So I see exactly where he's fucking coming from on that. The wearing black was mostly worn during funerals argument. That one I can kind of agree with because you're mourning the loss of someone. And with goth culture, like it turned into like, oh, fishnets and trying to be this kind of nonconformist but sexy at the same time, or slutty, which is interesting.
It was actually...
I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like fucking cyber goth chicks. Like those fuzzy boots that go up the fucking, up to the calf. Oh my God, that used to be my fucking kryptonite. Maybe it still is.
TV shows like that from the 60s and 70s that helped bring goth aesthetic into the mainstream.
No, it's all about fucking Beetlejuice and fucking, Joker and Harley Quinn's relationship.
And they clearly promoted a lot of conservative family values that modern leftists completely reject. The bottom line is goth is not inherently political. Yes, politics have always been a part of goth culture, but they were not 100% anti-conservative, and there have always been conservative values promoted within goth culture. Anyone who's actually studied the history and actually read the literature and how it went from books to music to TV shows and film knows this. And considering how dogmatically leftists dominate mainstream culture today,
I mean, a lot of fucking cultures and subcultures and shit. Like, you go on Facebook or whatever social media as a juggalo, and I can't go 1 month without seeing at least one fucking thing where some idiot ends up saying, I don't understand how you can be conservative and a juggalo. Because conservatism doesn't fucking own the rights to the rebel flag, motherfucker. There are people on both sides that are inherent, that can show racism. There are people on both sides, both liberal and conservative, that have raised the rebel flag in their southern homes. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just conservative fucking people. And it's not over the course of time or fucking political shifts. ICP. Like, ICP made fuck your rebel flag. How can you be a juggalo and conservative? How can you be a juggalo and like Donald Trump? Fuck your rebel flag. Yeah, exactly. It's like, shut the fuck up. Yeah, blibbity blue blah, whatever. No, like, you know what I like most about Donald Trump? The fact that he creates your liberal tears enough for me to fucking drink it out of this cup. And ask for more. Give me Typo Negative, The Cure, and the Crow eras of goth, or Elvira. Yeah, like, Elvira is another one of those examples of what I was talking about, but it's like, interestingly enough, Cassandra Peterson herself is actually on the left, but, it's like Elvira is a completely different thing. Like, Elvira is, think of Elvira, Elvira as a character is 100% fucking goth, but has that Valley Girl accent, which is already in and of itself confusing, but attractive. But, like, Typo Negative, I think, Typo Negative's dope. The Cure is dope. The movie The Crow is dope. The entire soundtrack for The Crow is dope. But, like, not everything is going to be leftist and Bauhaus. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's like, don't you find it kind of contradicting to consider yourself a goth, but gatekeeping goth culture to be a leftist-only fucking party? That makes no fucking sense. Because goth is not about being on a political side.
If you're going to argue that goth is about going against the grain, you can definitely be conservative and do that.
Yeah, especially right now. You know what I'm saying? If you're willing to say that goth is about going against the grain, same thing with juggalos, same thing with punk, because it's all anti fucking it's all rebellion, it's DIY, it's fucking I don't want to use nonconformity because that is that is kind of the trope, but it is a lot of think for yourself, Going against the grain is the best way to fucking explain it. And those are three subcultures that do that do go against the grain. And as of right now, I would probably say that voting Donald Trump was and possibly still is, as of right now, the best way to go against the grain. Because let's face it, Donald Trump's original campaign was designed around draining the swamp. And that's exactly what he's been doing both of the terms that have been going on. Basically fucking doing what he can inside the system in order to expose the system. It's just like when he fucking ran against Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton was trying to say that he was using the system to his advantage to make him billions of dollars. And he's like, of course I use the system. And if you've got a problem with that, change it. But you won't change it because you have friends on the other side. You know, you have friends on this side too that also take advantage of the system. That's exactly what he's fucking talking about when he was trying to say drain the swamp. The other thing about draining the swamp was getting rid of all of the fucking wasteful spending, which is what we're doing now, especially with the shutdown. The shutdown had a lot of, was based off of wasteful spending. Doge was based off of wasteful spending. And that was also him draining the swamp. And everything that he has done has pissed off all the left people in Congress and in the Senate. And it's caused them to convince the mainstream media to completely fucking hate on Donald Trump, to the point of where we're at now, where we have retarded people in Portland joining Antifa, trying to have a flash mob sweating to the oldies in front of the in front of the ICE facilities as a form of some weird fucking protest that doesn't make any fucking sense. It's counterculture at its core. Like, voting for fucking Donald Trump is counterculture at this point, because he's the only president that we have had that isn't a politician. He's the man on the outside looking in. He's the one that was able to go in and fix the rot. Prometheus's ship is the fucking American government, and he's trying to clear out the rot. The message is Trump was never the end-all be-all. He was like John the Baptist of what we're trying to do here. If you know, you know. He's the starting point. We have to keep going. Yeah, and J.D. Vance, 2028. All right, so I think he might have one last point.
After y'all are constantly reminding them that y'all outvote conservatives every election cycle, that y'all get the majority vote. Sounds like they're the ones who are going against the mainstream.
Hey, Don. I'm dying. I think I'm dying. Oh, shit. Yeah. Goddamn. Oh, rest in peace, my lungs. Holy shit. I didn't hear a fucking thing he said. Yes, thank you, 89. LOL. Fuck you, Twisted Tree Line. Let's go back. Let's hear what he can say without me coughing a lung out.
You can definitely be conservative and do that. After y'all are constantly reminding them that y'all outvote conservatives every election cycle, that y'all get the majority vote. Sounds like they're the ones who are going against the mainstream.
Ha ha! Yeah. Now, me personally, I feel like my argument on that is a little bit more valid than that part of the argument, in saying that voting for Donald Trump is probably the most punk rock thing that you could fucking do. When it concerns like politics and shit. The reason being, he's not a politician. Like, he's a fucking businessman. And a lot of people felt like, well, that's probably what we need. Instead of having this political bullshit, we need a businessman to help clear up the fucking deficit. And a lot of people didn't like that. Because they were told not to like it. All right, so one of the last, there was another thing that I wanted to talk about too, which is this Zoran Mamdani thing. We're moving on from this guy. So as you know, on November 5th, Zoran Mamdani ended up becoming mayor-elect of New York City. And a lot of people are worried about what he's planning on bringing to the table, including, and this is probably one of the rare few people in Hollywood that is actually speaking up about this, and it's Jon Voight.
The mayor that has taken over New York City is a Muslim that's going to take down the city that never sleeps.
Now, right off the rip, people are already going to be like, oh, it's Islamophobia. Probably, but I'm pretty sure that we can all see a reason why. Because it's a Muslim taking over New York City. How quickly we are to forget shit.
The city of life's dreams. This city that our ancestors brought forth in prosperity and greatness and liberty. This city will turn into a forbidden place of darkness. The blood, sweat, and tears that the city of New York was built on will turn into a virtual refugee shelter for the radical Muslim ideology.
Yeah. Now I honestly think that that's a huge concern that a lot of people have. Because, and what's interesting is that I've heard people fucking say, "What if you don't live in New York City, why the fuck do you care?" And it's like, because New York City, for one, is part of our country. Okay, that's one reason to fucking worry about what's going to be happening in our country. Secondly, New York City is the most known city in our country. It is one of the busiest cities in our country. New York City has a statue of a woman with a torch and a crown that we all are curious about whether or not she's naked under that toga, which is a symbol of what our country stands for. One of those things being fucking freedom. Let's see. Ninja with a Pencil says, I think he's a sussy, rapist, racist personally, but I'm sure you've heard that before. Oh, yeah, plenty of times. And I've also heard nobody fucking show proof of that. Oh, by the way, Ninja with a Pencil, I've heard that there are certain provinces that are trying to vie for becoming the 51st, 52nd, 53rd, and 54th state of the United States. I didn't want to fucking add that in there just due to the fact that the video that I was watching was very long and drawn out, and I got bored watching it. But still. Now, now Ninja with a Pencil, are you talking about Trump or are you talking about Zoran Mamdani? Because we were talking about Trump and now we're on Zoran Mamdani. But like I said, I feel like that, people can claim Islamophobia all they want with things like what Jon Voight here is saying, but personally, with it being New York City and modern history of New York City, I think it's a little justified that people are going to be a little bit freaked out about somebody who's Muslim and is bringing socialist ideology into the New York City. Kind of like Dear Bornistan.
This is now the most dangerous time for our citizens of New York. This mayor will destroy this city. We are obligated to demand our rights for our private sanctuary, our businesses, our property.
Now, keep in mind, the way that I'm sure that people on the left are viewing Jon Voight at this point, that's the same way that a lot of conservatives on the right view Robert De Niro at this point.
That we all have worked so hard for. And this 35-year-old mayor has no right dictating the rules of socialism for a city built on our highest principles with brick and stone by hardworking Americans. This must be stopped, and his mayoralty should be terminated immediately.
Now, like, honestly, I have to disagree with that one. Like, just because he's a Muslim and just because he has socialist ideology, I don't feel like that would be democratically correct to just be like, yeah, he can't be mayor just because of this shit. I will complain about this shit, but at the same time, I'm like, no, fuck it, let him cook. I stream on Twitch as well, usually at night on the weekdays, to play video games. Right now, I'm playing Pokemon Legends ZA on the Switch 2 on Twitch. But yeah, like John Voight, this is one thing that John Voight said that I disagree with. You know, he was fucking voted in democratically. You know, they used the system correctly, I believe, in order to get Zoran Mamdani. Zoran Mamdani ended up winning. So you know, just because he's Muslim and just because he has socialist ideology doesn't mean that, oh, he needs to be terminated immediately. Fuck that shit. You know what? Let him cook and let the citizens of New York City get what they voted for. They fucked around and now they will find out.
You, the people of the greatest city, New York, are in danger of losing your city to this communist fool. We, the people, must stand for the greatest nation's purpose, the honor of our flag, the red, white, and blue, and for which it stands, one nation under God.
Indivisible.
And liberty and justice for all.
If you have your settings in the chat, set it, hold on, where's my mouse? Yeah, change it from top chat to live chat. You'll see everything.
This country, the United States of America, is the land of our greatest achievement, the American dream. And we, the people, have put our trust in the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. He and only he can stop this horror, as this Mayor Mamdani will try to destroy New York's wealth and turn it into a socialist crap city.
I mean, yeah, he's going to try, but a lot of the stuff that he wants to do, he can't do. And I think that the governor of New York in Albany has said that she will not fund the shit that he wants to fucking do. And so now he's e-begging people to try to get the money so that way everybody can get free shit. Yeah, because, you know, in order to get free shit, somebody has to pay for that free shit so you can get your free shit. And so basically it's like, okay, if he gets a certain amount of funds, then you get a limited amount of free shit during his fucking mayoral run. But if he doesn't get enough money, then he has to raise taxes in order for everybody to get the free shit. And people are not going to want to do that because there are some people who are already paying 50% on shit. And by the way, raising taxes doesn't do anything.
Let this be a warning to the people. And may God bless.
Now, what's fucked up is that there are people that are in the comments section of that specific video that are like, well, gee, now I see why Angelina Jolie no longer talks to him. Like, no, like, in all honesty, like, John Voight is just fucking warning the people of New York City. You get what you voted for, and he doesn't want to see any damage happen to a city that he loves. What I don't understand, okay, about the left and the whole hatred against Republicans, conservatives, Trump, all of it. Certain juggalos hating on anyone who even memes about Trump in a positive way. Well, yeah. How is it not bigotry if you're hating on these people? If you Google bigot, that's the exact definition. I mean, it's the same thing with fascism. You know, when people on the left are fucking, you know, touting about freedom of speech, but once they see something or hear something that they don't like, then they go have a fucking bitch fit and try to silence motherfuckers and cancel their channels, right? So, by doing so, that in and of itself is fascism, and yet they claim the orange man, who, by the way, hasn't gotten a spray tan in a while, so he has about the similar complexion as I do. And they claim that he's the fucking fascist. Like, that's when, that's interesting to me. Let's see, how much of these funds is he going to keep or redistribute elsewhere? Yeah, that's another question in and of itself. Now, he already has like $10 million that his parents fucking gave him. And he's not going to use a nickel of that money because, that's his money. But he's expecting other people to fucking donate to the cause so that way he can do the shit that he wants to fucking do. But like I said, half the shit that he wants to do, he can't fucking do without funding. And the other half of the shit that he wants to do is out of his fucking league. Like, the left he and the rest of the people on the left basically painted himself to be the fucking savior of anti-Trumpism. And it's like, no. Dude, no. Like, you're way in over your head there, sir. And you have a month and a half to realize that. Now, back to the very first thing that John Voight ended up fucking saying in that video was talking about him being a radical Muslim with socialist ideology. And people in the chat were like basically saying that he's Islamophobic. Well, gee, with what we know about New York City, I don't blame him. A lot of these people that are in the fucking comments weren't even alive the last time we had radical Muslim ideology hit New York City. 24 fucking years ago. I can't believe it's been that long. It literally feels like it hasn't been that long. But 24 years ago, an airplane ended up going into a fucking building thanks to some fucking radical Muslims. And yet, Gen Z don't even fucking know about it. They heard some things, but they don't know the full fucking story. Check this shit out.
Doing this interview kind of shows me how little I actually knew about it. It's kind of scary.
Hey guys, it's Kreyz with Young America's Foundation. As the 21st anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks approaches, we're here at George Mason University where we're talking to students to see just how much they know about what actually happened on September 11th.
Spoiler alert, they're all fucking stupid.
And if they think that their schools are doing a good enough job of teaching what happened on that tragic day. So do you know what major anniversary is coming up this weekend?
I do not know.
No, I don't think so.
I am definitely not really sure what's going on this weekend.
I have no idea.
This coming weekend, not Labor Day.
Yeah.
Do not.
Patriot Day, you dumb sons of fucks.
I do not.
God, yeah. Are they not teaching this shit in history classes in high school? This is important U.S. history.
No.
Not off the top of my head.
No, I'm not aware.
No, we do not personally. Nope.
Who attacked us on 9/11?
Who attacked us? What's the group called?
ISIS.
ISIS came after. No.
ISIS, yeah.
Or terror.
I believe that was the Taliban.
I don't know the exact name. I forgot.
Okay.
I don't want to say the wrong. Iraq? Afghanistan?
It was, I believe, a group of terrorists that hijacked a few planes.
Oh, yeah. How do you say that so nonchalantly? Oh, my God. Look, as a millennial, I have gone through more life-ending experiences than this guy, and I should be the one to say it like that. Not this guy.
Them into the Twin Towers.
Osama bin Laden.
It was the terrorist group, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the terrorist group known as Osama bin Laden. The one-man terrorist fucking group.
Do you know what terrorist group?
Not specifically.
Dude,
no.
hold on. I just gotta think. 1 second.
You know what? Just to double check, because I want to make sure that I'm not fucking wrong in this. All right, who was the terrorist group that did 9/11? Al-Qaeda. Okay. Yep, the terrorist group responsible for 9/11 was Al-Qaeda, an international Islamist extremist network. The attacks were orchestrated by Al-Qaeda's founder and leader Osama bin Laden and operationally planned by Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. So okay, now I had heard some things about the Taliban during that other point in time, but yes, Al-Qaeda. So I stand corrected.
Oh yeah,
I did know. I did.
We were taught this.
Do you know who attacked us on 9/11?
Very loosely, not really.
Yeah. So it was radical Islamists that fucking did the shit. Now, there was another video that I ended up seeing on TikTok where they were talking about some shit involving like Muslims during like the 16th century and the 17th century. There were 4 fucking crusades that went down, you know? And it was mostly because the Muslims were trying to take over the UK and taking over a whole bunch of other countries. Now they're doing things a little bit differently. They've learned that instead of going after countries with violence, I think that they're starting to understand that it's a lot easier to infiltrate a country and take over it diplomatically, just like they did with the UK, just like they're now doing with certain spots in the United States. There's also a whole bunch of other countries that they are going after. They're still doing violent shit in Africa, but like for other countries like ours, it's a diplomatic attack.
Oh my god, I'm blanking on.
And it's easy to fucking do that, especially with how docile everybody in America is, and how everybody is so fucking anti-racist that they themselves fucking turn racist. You know, it's like everybody's like so fucking ultra inclusive that they just allow everybody to fucking come in. You know, borders open, everybody's allowed in. Come on in. It's just a big party here in America. You know, you don't have to have your ID checked at the door. That kind of shit. And now look.
Osama bin Laden and the terrorist group.
Yeah, it's a terrorist group. I just can't remember.
Do you know why they attacked us? Like, what was their reasoning for attacking us?
Because we're American capitalist pig dogs.
I don't know necessarily the reason. I mean, they're just considered a terrorist group.
Yeah, but why is what they're trying to get at. And I believe a part of that is because what we have here in America goes against their ideologies and their religious beliefs. And so, in an attempt to try to boost and holster up their religion, they attacked us. At least that's part of it.
I guess that's all we really have on that.
I personally have no idea.
Was it a retaliation of someone who was president at the time, like Bush?
Revenge.
I mean, Bush was an idiot, but no, it had nothing to do with Bush.
For?
I don't know, the war they had back then.
Oh my God! So let's see. Let's go ahead. Just to be on the safe side, because I'm not 100%. Let's go back to the University of Google. Why did 9/11 happen? The 9/11 attacks happened because the terrorist organization Al-Qaeda sought to protest and weaken American influence and foreign policy in the Middle East through a high-impact symbolic act of violence. Yeah, So basically, they tried to kill some of us, and we went and killed them back.
I guess to
No. It was Trump. He flew all four of the planes because he is the devil and he is that evil. I'm going to destroy this building. It's not beautiful. It's not wonderful. I'm going to rebuild it, and it's going to be the Trump Twin Towers. Allahu Akbar. La 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 la.
terrorize, I don't know, I guess.
Probably not.
We try to bring our country down, I guess. One of the reasons for that, trying to cause chaos.
I wasn't born then.
I don't know. I really don't know.
It was kind of a, what's it called?
I mean, it's not like we're, I honestly got to say, it's not like we're like Germany, right? Where they just try not to fucking talk about what happened during World War II, Nothing happened. We just had cake. No, we need, we, along with everybody else, needs to fucking talk about shit. Because if you don't, and if you don't fucking talk about the shit, then the shit gets fucking changed up, and then it makes no fucking sense, and the history of the shit doesn't fucking happen. You know what I'm saying? And history starts to repeat itself. Well, legally they can't really either, to an extent. Right. Which is kind of dumb. It's just like, dude, they know that what happened was really fucked up. Just fucking own it. Like, that's just the way I see it. It's just like, all you do is you just own up to your fucking faults. Best friend homie of mine lives in Austria, known him for 10 years or so at this point. Talk on the daily.
They're trying to save kind of morals and everything, so something like that.
We believe over wars and things that people had going on between the...
Like, honestly, what happened on 9/11, like, they tried to weaken America, and if anything, it strengthened our fucking country to a fucking strength that I had not seen since. Like, dude, Toby Keith ended up making that "we'll put a boot in your ass, it's the American way," like, all of that stadium country ended up fucking blowing up, and it didn't matter if you were on the left or on the right. Everybody was affected. Like, everybody. Didn't matter if you were a Republican, didn't matter if you were a Democrat. You were affected by this shit. And for the first time in my life, I had like such a fucking unification of our country, and it was shown everywhere. Everybody had fucking flags hanging out of their cars. Everybody had flags at their house. That's when I first started seeing Bell Tire fucking having ginormous flags about the size of my fucking house, like, waving in the fucking air, and still do to this day. Like, everybody was fucking unified, and we were just like, oh, these motherfuckers are cooked. Like, they are going to fucking die over this shit. And for 20 years, like, our troops, our boys were fucking looking, and finally found Osama bin Laden, and then they started to slowly pull out of Afghanistan until Biden was like, no, let's get out of here now, and left like $20 million worth of equipment, and half the fucking people that were fleeing died because Biden's a fucking idiot. So it's like, none of these kids fucking know shit.
Both countries.
I don't know. I know they were just like extremists or something about the government. I don't know.
And it's so fucking loosely responsed. Like, these kids don't know shit and they're in college.
Yeah.
Do you think that schools, generally speaking, are...
Things that people had going on between the both countries.
I don't know. I know they were just like extremists or something about the government. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I remember I remember when 9/11 was going down, and it was like, okay, I didn't want to go, because of that, because of that shit, I did not want to go into the military because I didn't want to die. And then secondly, I mean, even if I did go into the military, I wouldn't be able to go and have a tour because I'm an only child by technicalities. Um, but also, like, I also didn't go to college, and my mom was trying to convince me to fucking enlist. Nothing doing. Not while we're fucking going after Osama bin Laden. Fuck that shit.
Do you think that schools, generally speaking, are doing a good enough job of teaching students about the importance of this anniversary and the significance of what happened that day?
Not really. I remember only being taught about it twice, once in like 5th grade, the second time in 9th grade, and since then I haven't really heard much at all about it, so.
Yeah, and how quickly we seem to forget about one of the most important fucking things that happened to our country in modern history, when we were attacked by fucking extremists, fucking Islamic extremists, Muslims. And now we have one as mayor of New York City.
Yeah, I feel like you can see I forgot everything, so they probably should, teach just a little bit more about what happened and why.
Well, they're not going to, because they're trying to make sure that, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and soon to be Gen Beta are stupid as shit. They don't want this shit to be because it doesn't follow their narrative. As far as I see it, it doesn't follow that narrative. And it's like they're creating leftist people in colleges that have conflicting ideologies that somehow fucking pair together. It makes no goddamn sense. They're so cooked. All they see is normalized and fitting. Right.
So important.
I think it for sure can be improved on. I think it's just like taught as it happened, and we should just know that it happened, which is so unfortunate.
Yeah, but you should also know why it happened and why it does not need to be fucking happening again. In any form.
Like right now, like I can't give you a full-on answer about the event, which is honestly quite tragic.
They don't really teach about it, and like doing this interview kind of like shows me like how little I actually knew about it.
Yup.
It's kind of scary because it was such like a huge event that still is affecting the U.S.
Yeah. In a way, you are correct. But what it is like now you are all so fucking docile that you don't see how it's affecting the nation. Still to this day. Next year is the 25th anniversary of that attack. And yet, people, like, in this fucking age range, they don't care. Or they don't know. They don't understand what had happened, why it happened, who did it, what their beliefs were. And yet, history is repeating itself in a different form. When you forget history, you are doomed to repeat it.
I suppose not, given I don't know, so I guess not.
I personally don't think so, because I have no idea really the reasoning behind it. I haven't really heard of it much outside of like the anniversary of 9/11, so I feel like high schools aren't really doing much to educate the students.
I kind of think there's a big issue of it becoming like moral panic in a way to marginalize a group of people.
I don't believe so. We are currently too focused about the political correctness.
Agreed. Like that kid is correct on that one. We're too focused on the political correctness and shit. It's like to a point now where it's just like, okay, at any given point in time, somebody could come into the comments section and hear what I was saying, big upping John Voight on his fucking thing about Zoran Mamdani, and they'd probably say that I'm a fucking Islamophobe as well. And you're like, go right the fuck ahead and say that. I was alive during 9/11. I was in high school during 9/11. I watched it on TV over and over and over again. Plane after plane going into building after building. And like these kids, obviously, they don't fucking know like what happened then, because they were all not born during that time. And by the way, Twisted Tree Line, that should not fucking happen. I do believe that there is a ban on communism in this country. There have been people that in the past have tried to bring communism in here after the whole Bolshevik thing with Lenin, and the same thing with Stalin and the National Socialist Workers German Workers Party, my bad. Those guys, the ones that like to hold their arms up at a 45-degree angle. Let's see, there was something else. Okay, so according to this, I double checked on the University of Google. I asked, is communism banned in the U.S.? No, communism is not banned in the U.S., but the Communist Control Act of 1954 officially prohibits the Communist Party, although this law is rarely enforced and its provisions have been largely repealed or struck down by the Supreme Court. Supreme Court has consistently protected the rights of communists under the First Amendment, and the Communist Party still exists and participates in elections today. Yeah, I guess so. They're called Democrats. All right, that's it for that. So, yeah, there's a little bit of fucking education for you guys. And as far as I'm seeing it, like, honestly, I am, like, for one, I'll say this. I'm not in New York, so there's really nothing that I can do about the whole thing with Zoran Mamdani becoming mayor of New York. So at this point, the only thing that I can do is do what I do with everything else. I can only sit back and observe. Now, when it concerns my own state and my own city, I'm definitely fucking going against that shit because fuck communism. And, because I've seen how well that worked in Cuba and the USSR and Venezuela and Laos and Vietnam. I've seen how well it's worked for all of those countries. Of course it might possibly fucking work here, huh? But I guess time will tell. It's going to be interesting to see New York City reap what they sow, but at the same time, I have friends of mine who live in or around New York City, so I really hope that nothing that happens affects them. I ain't trying to change the world. I will make fun of it, though. I'm in that same boat. Like, I'll only try to affect what I can, where I can. Which is my own city, my own state, and presidential elections every 4 years. So, I'm going to get up out of here. Thank you guys for coming in here, watching, participating up in the chat, enjoying another fucking episode of the Crazy House. I'll be back next week, and we'll probably talk some more shit. All right, I'm out of here, guys. Deuces. Have a good one.